the gang called Gypsy.
Gang and they come and get Gypsy. Gang and they come and get Gypsy. Gang. I met a Gypsy. Gang. I met a Gypsy.
My bad.
No, you're good.
I've actually never done a podcast.
Dude, isn't that insane? I bet you've been asked to do a trillion podcasts.
Nah, you know what? The only guy that ever asked, it was a long time ago, and I was like a little bit nervous, was Theo Von.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, because he gets some pretty crazy people on. So he like seen my Instagram and he was like, "Oh, I got to get you on." Like this was like 4 years ago though.
And you didn't want to do it?
No, I just wasn't in. I was in Australia.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm like, when it came to like actually being there, he was on tour in Australia when I was in America.
Yeah,
so our paths just didn't cross.
It's crazy. You're in a unique position because what you do, like with the BMX stuff, like you can do crazy shit that looks cool.
Yeah.
But there's just something about the shit you can do on a scooter that just looks so retarded. And it's just like, you don't have to know anything about anything. Like Dana White would know nothing about BMX.
Yeah.
But he can look at what you do on a scooter and just be like, what?
Yeah, I think that's definitely like one thing I always strive for was like kind of doing the tricks that someone that doesn't even ride would like look at and like would think like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like I did that bike flip where like I let it go, it does a front flip, and now like so many people can do it, but just no one thought to do it for like all the years of BMX happening. No one thought to try this. I heard some people were like, oh yeah, I did it on trampoline, but it's like, why not just try it? And then I knew it could work because I rode a scooter.
Yeah.
And like we did it on scooter like maybe a year before. And then I'm like, is this going to work on BMX? And then I just tried it. And that's like pretty much my whole BMX career now.
Yeah.
It's like, what scooter tricks will work on BMX? And then I just bring them to BMX and it works pretty well.
It's funny though, because like the whole scooter kid thing.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, I grew up riding BMX every single day. Like we grew up in Cairns, there was nothing else to do. All we did was dig jumps, ride skate parks, and bully scooter kids. And it's like you're like this white knight that has just like come through the scooter kid ranks, and then you're the dude that took over all the BMX shit. And it was, I don't know, there's something so crazy about your come up and what you've like not only just done for scooter kids, but you've like you've legitimized scooters so much that like now you're like the top dog BMX dude as well. It's a crazy thing that happened to like make RWilly, like the phenomenon of RWilly.
I think I just like people just they had that people had that stereotype where they were like, oh, it's scooter tricks. Like I'm not down with scooter tricks. Where I'm like a scooter kid and I jumped on a BMX bike and I'm like, oh, well, I can do my scooter tricks on a BMX bike. And then I just did it so much that people were like, wait, what's going on? Like, why didn't we do these tricks? Oh, yeah, it's because we were too busy hating on the scooter kids. Yeah. And then now we have like heaps of BMX riders that came from scootering and they're like taking over. Like guys like Brandon Lupos. Like he used to...
He was a scooter kid too.
Yeah, he didn't tell you?
No, he did. I forgot about that. I blanked that shit out.
Yeah, but legit, he was like a scooter kid as well. But he rode bikes a lot too. So it was like both.
Yeah.
No, same with me. Like I would just bring my scooter and BMX to the skate park. And it was like, is more of my friends riding BMX? I'll jump on a BMX. It was, for me, it's always just been about like going to the skate park with my mates and just enjoying my time there and like kind of progressing with each other and like challenging each other. And it's like, that's just what I was growing up doing. And then it grew into like being on big competitions like X Games. And then it's kind of the same thing. Like all the guys up there are my friends and we're all like super positive. Everyone's like hoping that everyone does super well. And I think that that's an amazing thing about action sports is because even though it's a competition, like we all know the risks and no one's out there like wanting anyone else to fall because they know what happens when you do fall. It's dangerous. Man,
the one thing with you that I like, action sports has given me everything.
Yeah.
Like I grew up riding, then did my film thing in America. Now I've got this podcast. Like my life has been like given to me in such a positive way by action sports.
Yeah.
But there's been times where like I'm like over it and then it's there and then you're like negative about it and you can go like it's got these little weird pathways and it can spit people out and it can it sort of can produce some weird negative stuff if you let it. But I feel like one of the things with you is like you're this pure dude that has just literally started from the bottom, like skate park rat on a scooter, you know, and it's like you've literally got to the top of what you've done. And like I know a lot of like we haven't met before this, but like everybody speaks so insanely highly of you. You've never deviated from the path. You've never fallen into the traps of, you know, some of like the fame, the money, some of the action sports kind of carry on that can go with it. And like, I just, you're such a pure representation of like how good action sports can be. And like when I was in America doing the team stuff, all of the sponsors would be like, oh no, like you would go to these new companies that weren't in action sports and they'd be like, oh, action sports, that's like kind of like tattooed bully dudes. And there's that stereotype, and it's like, I don't know, you just seem like you're the dude that's waving the flag the hardest for like the pure, this is what's possible, this is how your life can change, this is how you can have an amazing life through these sports. And I think that you're this one person that can give like any parent hope, where it's like, my kids is like just hanging at a skate park, you know? And I think that it's so cool that you've stayed on that path this whole time.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I was literally that kid at the skate park every day.
Yeah.
And then it just grew into something more. I just kind of like kept looking to the next trick. What can I do? What can be the next big thing that I do? And I don't know, I always just loved the... Oh, you're good? Oh. I always love just going down the skate park and being with my mates. And then it kind of just grew into like, oh, I can make money now. I can go on trips and like have more fun with my mates. Now I'm on Nitro Circus. Now I'm interacting with guys that I've looked up to my whole life, like Travis Pastrana. And like, not only do I look up to Travis for what he's done, but more so for like the things that he brings out in the people around him. And that's kind of like what has inspired me to just keep going. Like, obviously doing the new tricks, that's awesome. And like doing a world's first trick is like awesome. And I love doing it. But the biggest thing for me now is to like build my compound where I can have guys from Australia come out and like express themselves and be the best they can be, because I feel like I literally I'm just a normal kid. I'm not like, maybe I have good air awareness, but I think that I just grew that over time, because I don't think I started with it. Like I wasn't doing I never did gymnastics. I never did any kind of like sport too much. And it was just action sports that kind of stuck. Yeah. And then I just got the opportunity, you know, and when I got the opportunity, I like did my best. And I think that's how I grew, because I would get on Nitro Circus. And then the first show at Nitro Circus, I did the world's first double front flip, like, and I aced that opportunity. And then I think I just managed to ace the opportunities that got put in front of me. But I was never like I don't think I was like ever the greatest. I just managed to do the right things at the right time. And I feel like any kid in the whole world can do that. And I just want to be able to show people that, because I know that my friends that I grew up with at the skate park, if they had the ramp, they could go out there and do world's first, because my mates do it now. My mates that I used to ride with, they never got the opportunity to ride the mega ramp, and now I've got one in my backyard and they're doing tricks that no one else in the world can do. So you know that the potential is out there everywhere. They just need the opportunity. And that's like why I'm trying to like give everyone the opportunity now.
It's so cool, man. And it's so right. Like, and Harry's the perfect example of that. Yeah. Like, Harry is just the ultimate. He's another example of a guy where it's like action sports. Like, he just dedicated himself to action sports, and like his desire to do good and to succeed and to like live out these dreams, they outweighed every crash he had. They outweighed every setback. They outweighed every rainy day. They outweighed every bike failure that he had. And he's got that same mentality. I think one of the cool things that you do really well, and like, man, sometimes I'll be in bed like watching your videos of like you fucking up a trick, like 150 times. And it's like, even for me, like I still love riding moto, and I'll go to the track and on a really good day, I'll hit one rut like 40 times, just like doing it over and over to try and get it right. That's so rare, dude. Like otherwise I'm just kind of riding around, like having fun. Like there's not that much commitment there, you know what I mean? Whereas like to do the kind of shit that you're doing, it's like, and it's sometimes it's just like a stupid trick that you're trying to do, like like a bar spin to like nose manual around the entire park, and it's like that means nothing. Like that's not a world first.
Yeah.
There's no points. That's just you at the skate park, like do that, and that is like the core, I think. And if you can be a dude that can like, it's like that's the recipe right there. Like while you 100%. Succeed, you don't have to look any further than you trying to do a dumb trick 200 times.
Dude, I can tell you today, I was riding like a mini scooter that's like this tall, right? And like, I'm just filming a YouTube video and I'm like trying this trick on flat and I'm like, oh, I'll just get it. And then this 60 tries in, I'm like sweating. I'm like, I was supposed to be done filming this whole video by now, but it's like a blessing and a curse because I'll try a trick. And if I try it 10 times, I'm trying it 600 times until I land it. Like all the sun goes down, all my phone dies. Literally ask all my friends. I am the worst person for that. And it's a blessing because like the people at home, they see the land. And sometimes I put up like the attempts, but most of the time I'm just putting up the land, but you don't see like these 300 attempts, me sweating my butt off, just trying to land this one trick. But I mean, all you have to do is land it once for it to like be there and exist. You know, you only have to do these tricks once for them to exist. And that's where I'm kind of like, I have the X Games stuff where it's like, that's like almost, it's 2 tricks, you know?
Yeah.
That I can manage. But these guys like Logan Martin and Brandon Lupos that do like a minute run with 30 tricks. Yeah, that's not like, I can't do that. I could do easier tricks, but I could never do that. And like, I don't see a path for me to be able to do that. But I know that if they wanted me to do one of those tricks that they did in their run or their best trick, then there's a chance I'll do that because I'll try that 300 times until I get it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that that's definitely been 100% the key to my success is persistence. And then, and at competitions, it's just paying off, you know, getting that one trick done.
Yeah, because it's funny, like you'd have people, and I'm sure there's people that watch all the time and they're just like, man, he's just so good. And but it's like, I think about, you know, every kid will like buy a skateboard and then they'll try and do an ollie. Mm-hmm. But like I got a skateboard and I tried and do an ollie and I couldn't do an ollie and I never really did an ollie. But then it's like, that's it stops there.
Yeah.
You don't go anywhere past that. But then what you're saying, and like, this is the secret. It's like, you don't have to look any further than the secret is RWilly won't leave the skate park until he can do an ollie essentially. Right. And then it's like, you just do it progressively more and more and more over time.
Yeah. And it's just like, are you passionate enough to grind through that? You know, some things it's not going to work. Like I honestly think that I could get on a skateboard and like I could try do a certain trick. Like I could try it 1,000 times and not land it on a skateboard. I think there's definitely certain sports that like if you do grind, you will do well. And there is like some sports that just maybe aren't your thing. But I think that at the end of the day, you're always going to have fun if you do stick in there because you will eventually progress. And that's like, should be your main thing is just like going out there and maybe you have to push a little, but maybe you'll get that reward of landing a trick. And as long as you had like a fun day and it was worth it, I think that that's what keeps you riding. And I always tell people that if you're having fun riding, you'll ride more and you'll be better. Like maybe if you ride for, I'm going to train, I'm going to go every day for like 5 months, you're better off going for a year and just like going and just having fun. You're going to end up going like more and you're going to be enjoying it more. And I think that definitely having fun is the best way to like get passionate and get good at something. I think anyway.
No, I totally agree.
For different people, I think there's different ways. Like I know guys in scootering that like they'll do training and they'll practice their tricks all the time. And they are like one of the best they're the best park riders in the world. And that's probably like something that Logan Martin does, Brandon Lupos. They do have their schedule. They work out and they practice tricks every single time. And that's why they're like,
but they kind of had to do what you were talking about first.
Oh,
like 100%. You just don't start that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so what you're talking about, I think is like, there would have been a point where Brandon Lupos did that. And there would have been a point where Logan did that. And like, I've had Brandon on the podcast and he'll be the first to tell you, like, he was just shit. Like he's like, I just couldn't win. Yeah. He's like, I could do tricks. I just couldn't win. He's like, I was shit. I had to like figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think, I think that's maybe the problem sometimes with people like young kids like just watching pros
Mm-hmm.
because they're seeing a real sharp blade that started off as a hunk of metal.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're watching them sharpen the blade, which is like the training and all that shit. But it's like what they really needed to watch was the dude just fucking dink, dink, just like fucking belting the hammer, you know?
Yeah, yeah. There's like different ways to ride as well. So it's like if you want to go that route, like you could be a world champion and like be getting paid X amount, but you could also not be a world champion and still getting paid X amount. There's like different, like it's like I like could be, you know, because I'm just having fun and I like try to show that I'm having fun. A lot of people like to watch that and you can make money off it that way. You know, there's different ways to make it in action sports and it's not just about being the best in the world. It's also about like showing people you're having fun and being a personality and just like interacting with people, you know, hyping them up to go ride. And I think that's a huge thing.
So where did it start for you? Like, are you just the quintessential kid that just like had a skate park in his town and then got a scooter or a BMX bike and it was just hanging out with mates? Or is it something that you like saw a video and then you said, hey mom, I want to get a scooter? Or like, how did it even start for you?
I think that like, so my dream of going to X Games, I think it was just born from, I watched a movie called The Ultimate X, and it was like a really old movie about X Games, and it had like Travis Pastrana, and it just had a bunch of the events, and I seen that, and I'm like, I want to do that. Like that looks so cool to me. It's like freestyle, you know. There's no rules. That's my favorite thing about action sports is it's not like rugby, like nothing. It's not like a normal sport, you know. It's like nothing against them. I love to like I watch the Origin. I love that kind of sport, but I love the fact that action sports, there's no boundaries, you know. There's no one going, oh no, you can't do it that way, or you have to do it this way. It's like, no, whatever you think of in your head, you can just do, and we'll judge it. And it's like, doesn't matter if you're riding the streets, doesn't matter if you're riding the park, doesn't matter if you're taking your hands off, doesn't matter if you're taking your feet off. It's like whatever you want to do, just do it, and then it gets judged on how it does. But I think that it's kind of like an art form, you know.
Yeah.
The skate park is your canvas.
Yeah, no, hey, it sounds woo woo, but it's not. Like it's real, you know. And like not everyone fits the box of like there's boxes for everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, some people just don't fit that team sport kind of drive to practice every day. And two, like I think one of the great things about action sports is that like there was this kid in our town and we called him Black Levi.
Yeah.
And man, this motherfucker ripped on a BMX bike. Like I'm pretty sure he like is pro and lives in Europe now or something, but like came from nowhere.
Wait, what's his name?
Levi. Everyone calls him Black Levi.
Okay.
And he was just like this, just like an Aboriginal kid from Cairns, like had literally no money, like half the time he rode in no shoes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure now he lives in Europe and is like a
ripping in no shoes. That's a talent.
No, this dude was like a full G. But I think that that's another cool thing with action sports. Like let's say that your parents can't afford to take you to football or they can't afford to buy you like a motorbike or they can't afford to do whatever it is. It's like you got that one-time investment of a scooter or a skateboard or a bike, and like you can literally make it to like the Travis Pastrana level,
legit, you
know, fame and success off practically nothing, like 2 wheels, some pedals and some grips.
Yeah, well, so my beginning, I actually had rollerblades because I go to the rollerdrome, you know.
Oh, we're done here, guys.
No,
we're done. Sorry.
No, legit.
It's been sick, RWilly.
This is all I had, man. Because I went to the rollerdrome with my mum. Like, this is when I was really little, and I think that I watched like X Games, and I'm like, what do I have? What can I go on the skate park to? There's rollerblades, and then like. I literally rode rollerblades for 4 years or something, like by myself. But everyone, I'd like be friends with all the BMXs, all the scooter kids. And then I would go to the skate park and I would have to borrow the scooter kids' shoes and their scooter, like to ride
That's
scooters.
so sick because you rocked up in rollerblades, so you didn't even have shoes on.
For rollerblades, so I'd have to borrow their shoes as well as their scooter to ride with them. And then eventually got a scooter, got a BMX bike, and then I kind of just excelled more at scooter riding, got sponsored kind of thing. And then I think I went on a tour over to America when I was like 12 years old. And then, and then I always had a BMX as well, and I always ride it because like it was up to who my mates were at the skate park, like who's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then got on Nitro Circus, and then toured with Nitro Circus for maybe like a year or two before I kind of like borrowed someone's BMX while the show was on, and because they were like, "Oh, you can't do these tricks. You can only do these tricks because they're on a scooter," and I'm like, "Well, I think that's not true, and let me try prove it."
Yeah.
And then legit, like I think I did my first like world first on BMX, and it was like such a scooter trick. It was like a front flip with a front bike flip, like at the same time. It was like that's still one of the hardest tricks I've actually done.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I did it when I was like 18 years old, but I just did it on tour once, and everyone was like, "What is going on?" And then eventually took it to X Games and won myself gold medals doing scooter tricks on BMX.
Dude, it's such like a gnarly story. Like it just, even when I like watch you ride, I'm like, this dude's in a fucking video game. Like your house looks like a video game level. Like you've got everything that you do, the tricks that you dream up, it's all just like video game shit that you got going on. It's just like none of this should happen.
It would be a sick video game, I reckon, actually.
Dude, the RWilly app.
Yeah.
I feel like that could probably happen.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, so we should slow down a bit on the journey then, because there's probably a ton of stuff in there to talk about.
Yeah.
So you went on your first sponsored trip when you were 12.
Mm-hmm.
So what sort of shit were you doing on a scooter when you were 12 that would get you sponsored by scooter companies? Like, because this to me is an underground deal. Like, I don't know much about the scooter world.
Yeah. Nah, all right.
Because there's a scene there for sure.
So scootering was actually like popping off back in 2012. It was like basically like just starting out. And the thing is, I like caught the first wave, and that was maybe the second wave, but it was bigger than the first one. So I
legit had a scooter in school too. So I'm not like a full anti-scooter dude.
Yeah.
So like, but I remember like was it Razor was like the first one to come out back in the day?
It's called Mad Gear. That was the one I rode, and then I eventually got sponsored by the same company, but that was like all foldable ones, and you'd go through like one a month.
Yeah.
You know? And it was from Kmart for like $40.
Yeah.
And I'd try to like reinforce myself, but basically, I don't know, I was doing like like tricks that no one had ever done before, but at like the skate park, like I did, like I think my first ever world first was like a fakie, like an air to fakie, and then a fakie like front flip and then land back on the ramp, and that was like the first one I did. And then
how did you even know it was a world first back then? Because was social media and stuff around back then?
Yeah, but it was like it's such a small knit community that like people would like post it, and that was like it wasn't just like adding another bar spin that trick. It was like kind of like in a whole realm like, whoa, that's weird. Like no one does that.
Yeah.
Like no one does that. So it was kind of like, I knew it was, and that's why I went and did it.
Yeah.
Maybe someone like tried it, but that's what was my claim to fame, I guess, for my first world first.
Yeah, but if everyone's posting it like it was a world first, it was probably a world first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it actually does get a bit weird these days, because it's like everyone's riding. How do you know if it is?
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes like,
I feel like back then it would have been a bit easier to tell.
100%, because there wasn't like 100,000 tricks, but basically I got on a team called Mad Gear, and it was like they were making like the first pro Australian team, and it was like I was the first guy on, and then there was maybe 6 other guys, and then they were like, yeah, we're going to send you to America to do this big competition.
Unreal.
Yeah.
What? So that you were 12 years old when you did that?
I'd put money on being 12.
So how dope are your parents?
Yeah, rad. My mum was actually like one of the best racers in Queensland for racing BMX.
Really?
Yeah, and then I did it for a while, and then I actually I fell over a few times, and one of them this scarred me forever. I was in a race, and I fell like off the side of the dirt jump and turned my bars, and they went into my ball sack.
Yeah.
And then the doctor had to grope me basically, and I'm like, nah, I'm not getting bars as a ball sack anymore. And I'm out of racing.
Did you like the competitive side of racing, or would you rather be more competitive with yourself and a trick versus you on the line with other people?
Way more. I'd way rather verse a trick. I'm not down with the verse another. I am competitive, but it's like me and a trick. It's like, I don't know. It's like
you can hate a trick. Yeah, you can hate a trick.
I can be like, you stupid trick. You know, I'm not gonna be like, you stupid person.
Yeah.
Then I'd be an idiot. I'd be a bad dude. But I think that definitely just fighting a trick is way more entertaining for me.
Yeah. So what was it? So you get on this, your parents are like, yeah, cool. We'll send our 12-year-old to America with a bunch of scooter dudes. Yeah. Do you remember that trip like well and what that trip did to you? Because like not many 12-year-olds are essentially getting like paid to travel the world. So like that had to leave a kind of impression on you.
Yeah, I had to be super young, but I don't like. But
Let's just say
I was
12.
definitely I was 100% under 16 years old.
Yeah.
Like, young.
Yeah.
So it was like crazy. And I'd never gone overseas like, and I think still I've only gone overseas like twice with paying for it, you know, like me actually choosing to go overseas. The rest has just been all tour, all business, all just sport, like
Work.
just having fun, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was insane because it was like America too. And there was a lot of like riders that I knew from online. We had like our own community, like groups and stuff that you'd talk on. And then, to go see those guys and like for them to see Australian riders. And we actually rode a lot different. So it was like kind of cool.
And do you remember, like, did that trip open up your eyes to like what was possible? Did you feel like this was going to be like your career? Like, did it change you in that way?
I think it was just I was so young that it wasn't, I was never thinking, I was always like, this is so fun. I get to ride so many different skate parks. I don't think it ever like clicked that it could be a real career until I started doing like Nitro Circus, like maybe 2 or 3 years into Nitro Circus when I was actually making like enough money to maybe even potentially buy my own house and like keep doing this. If I could keep doing this, you know, that's enough money to like go get a house. So that maybe is like a thing like that. But I think that till then, I was like, I'm just having the best time of my life. I'm earning like the tiniest bit of money, which is fine. It's like pocket, like it's like my mum doesn't have to give me pocket money, and because my mum was like so stoked on it too, because she was like single mum, and like we didn't even have internet. It was so crazy, so I had to like go to my mates' places to upload and like edit on Movie Maker. You know, like my mini vid one sponsor me kind of deal.
Shit.
You know, and then. Eventually, mum ended up getting internet because she like worked hard enough to get it. And then it was like so crazy. It's just crazy that now, like going from there where my mum couldn't afford internet and we were like just in the house, just me and my single mum. And then now like my mum lives at my house that I own. And then my dad lives at my other house that I own. And it's like so nuts that we come from just not even having internet to now like being where I'm at. It's just... makes me stoked. I don't really think of it. I haven't really sat back and thought about how rad that is.
That's what like is cool about doing these podcasts. That like you are gonna have to go down memory lane essentially. And like one of the things that I've learned through doing this is that the best athletes and the people that are like doing the most shit, they don't really look back while they're going. And it's like because it's not like that much point, you know, like you're still doing it and you're still on, and I'm sure there's so much that you want to achieve and so much that you will achieve. But yeah, a lot of people, until they do something like this, I don't even think they realize like sometimes how insane what they've actually accomplished is, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, that's such a testament to what I was saying before, that like action sports can give you this like literally come from nothing life and to have everything, you know what I mean? And like there's so many great examples of guys that they've literally come from nothing, like James Stewart, dude. You know, like that's an amazing example of a guy that like they were just like lived in the ghetto and now he lives next door to Tiger Woods. And
I'm just like, that's why I hope that I can inspire people to just know that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. It's like it just matters like what you put into it, and like if you can be persistent and if you can grind through failure, it's like you can actually do it. You can like literally you can do it no matter how bad you think your life's going. Like you can still do it.
And then a lot of it too is like when you're at the skate park and you're with the boys and you're trying tricks, boys and girls, and you're trying tricks and everyone's cheering each other on. It's like almost whatever problems that you have in life. I mean, I'm sure every day you've got problems that you're dealing with. And it's like that place, like the skate park, it almost becomes like your church, your haven, your like, you know, the place that you can get away from those problems. So it works twofold. It's like you're working at a chance to better yourself and better your future. And the more you put in, the more potential you've got to get out. But then as well, while you're doing that and working towards your future, you're kind of like escaping from whatever it is that's got you down or that you're trying to get away from in the first place.
Yeah, I think that 100%, that was like one thing that I loved about the skate park, because obviously growing up, like I wasn't the most beautiful kid, and like people would like really tease me hardcore at school.
Yeah, really.
And then, yeah, like whatever. Like it was actually a good thing in the end, you know, because it's like I just went from being at school and like people give me a hard time, and then like you get stronger from that. And then I went to the skate park, and here I am on a scooter, and like of course same thing, you know. But it just like it almost just built up this like wall that you could throw anything at me, and I would just be like, what? Like it would just rebound straight off. Like I just would only believe in myself, and I kind of grew that thick skin. And that like helped me so much. But the skate park was like a place where if I had a bad day at school, like I could go to the skate park, and no matter how like bad your day is going or if you got things on your mind, when you're at a skate park, you're like, I'm going to try this trick. And for that time, you're only thinking about the trick. And you might not even realize it, but like you almost like take the baggage off to do the trick, because all you're thinking about is doing this trick. You're thinking, oh, like, how am I going to do this? Where should I bail if I'm going to crash? Like, you're only thinking about that. And I think that that's a huge thing in action sports. And that's one thing that I really love. And like, that's why I want people to really go, like, if they like, it's a good sport to try. Like any action sport is a good sport to try, and it could really help you through life even. And it's kind of like anything. It's like, I'm sure like jiu-jitsu is like kind of the same thing. It's like, I've always thought about doing it because it's like, I know they talk about how like, if you just got to get used to getting beat, I think too, that like helps a lot.
I think the thing with the skate park that's super rad as well, and it's like that Black Levi guy I was talking about.
Yeah.
You could never tease that dude.
Yeah.
He was too good.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, it's the same, like, yeah, jiu-jitsu. Like, you can be a fucking janitor and walk into jiu-jitsu, and you could have been cleaning toilets all day.
Yeah.
But if you're a black belt that just murks dudes, you're getting respect like you're Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing at the skate park or the dirt jumps or the track. It's like, if you can grind and get to the point where like no one can talk shit on you. Doesn't matter if you're like big or small or whatever it is. Like you can kind of create, like you can almost become undeniable. And it's like, it's cool that you mentioned that. And man, the skate park's like a rough place too. Like you learn a lot of lessons as a kid at the skate park, dude.
Yeah, you do. Especially if you're like a scooter kid. You learn a fair bit. No, but I love the skate park. And one thing I do notice that like people are always like so worried about people hurting themselves at the skate park. And I know that it does happen a lot. But for me, like I've gone through and I would probably have the least amount of injuries on Nitro Circus. And that I know that like for me that's awesome. But if I told like a normal person like, oh, this is how many injuries I've had, like a lot compared to a normal person. But you can go through, like I've done probably like maybe nearly 20 years of being like doing action sports. Yeah, maybe 18 years, and I've probably broken like maybe 10 bones. Like separated both my shoulders and broke my ankle, and then like my arm maybe twice, and then fractured my skull twice. But that you're like normal people are like whoa, but then it's like no, Harry Bink like has broken
Everything.
way more, you know. And it's like there is a way where you can be a professional action sports athlete and like not ever need a surgery. Like I've never had a surgery in my life.
Yeah, that
So you
blows
can
me
do
away.
that. So
Wait, that's where you're a unicorn. Because like you don't get hurt that much for all the crazy shit that you do. Like you really aren't out with injury that much, eh?
No, because it's like it's all about like calculating things in your brain. I feel like after doing it for so long, I can kind of like play a trick out in my mind before I even go out and do it. You know how you can like write your name with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
You know, I can like ride my scooter with my eyes closed. Like I can be like, yeah, this is like what's going to be happening, and then I'll give myself like out points if I think that it's going wrong, or if I'm seeing something that I didn't think I'd see. I'm like, okay, this is going wrong. If I'm feeling something that I'm not thinking that I should feel, I know it's going wrong, and that's where the professional crasher comes involved. And if you're a professional action sports athlete, you're like a professional crasher.
Yeah.
Because you have to be.
Yeah.
You like if you're not, you can't get back up and try again. And that's kind of like the biggest thing if you're like into persistence is that you need to be able to crash, get back up and try again without like falling terribly.
Do you take tricks like in stages? You're planning something out and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna do like let's say you're trying to do tail whip or whatever. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna like spin at 180 and just land on my feet. And then it's like, then I'll try and get it around and maybe, you know what I mean? Like, or I'll bail off a little bit this way. Are you like even still trying to do these things in stages? Because like you said, you know, you post a finished trick and it just looks insane. But are you actually piecing this thing out piece by piece?
Yeah. So now even like when I first started, you would piece it out like that, like a tail whip. When I first ever did it, you know, you would start just jumping out and then you would like jump and flick it, or you would like stand there and like practice the trick to get it. But I even do it like now. So if I do like a 360 double backflip tail whip, you know, I'm not going to just wake up and go 360 double backflip tail whip. I will go out there and I'll go,
let's hope this works.
I know. No, literally I'll go and I'll go, like I'll tell you my process. I'll do a one backflip. This is on my jump. I'll do backflip. This is what I actually did. A double backflip, 360 double backflip. And then maybe I'll even do another one if I wasn't like really feeling it. And then that's when I'll go, okay, 360 double backflip tail whip. And like I wouldn't get it maybe, or I would get it, but
and even like, then you know like where you're going to bail out.
I stack it up, you know, like I know when I do the 360 double flip, I'm like, that's where I'm going to do the tail whip. And then you go and do it if you're feeling it. And that's kind of how it like works up. You always, that's why you're always calculating risks. I think that's probably why like I get so lucky with injuries, is because everything I'm doing, I'm not just going out guns are blazing. You know, you got to think about what you're doing, just like with anything really. Yeah,
but see, I know dudes that will just send it. So you're not like, even though you look like the just send it dude, you're not the just send it dude in a way.
In a way,
you've got to be the just send it dude to do a double backflip 360 tail whip. So like, let's get that out. But in the class of people that can actually do that, you're not just I'm just going to send it. And hope for the best
I 100% calculate it, because otherwise you're going to get hurt more than you can, and you can't ride as much. So it's like I do calculate a lot, and like there's things that I'll choose not to do because I'm worried that I actually will just land on my head.
Hey, that's a good strategy too.
Yeah.
The one thing that I love that you do as well is like, so for everybody listening, RWilly rocked up at 8 o'clock tonight because he was at the skate park with kids and he didn't want to let kids down.
Yeah.
And he's probably not going to brag about that. But I'm going to brag about that for him. And it's like cool that you're at the level that you're at with everything that's going on. And I know there's so many people that are like pulling on the strings of like trying to get stuff out of RWilly. And it's like, you're still just like, nah, Friday we ride with the kids. Yeah. No, because I know like that ride day, that could like inspire just that one kid. Like even if it's just one kid out of the 50, you know, to go, maybe that'll inspire them to like push themselves, be better, have a better life. Like I don't know where I would be if I listened to like the people that were like, don't ride a scooter. You won't get anywhere riding a scooter. Like every single time someone said that to me, I could have diverted my path, you know, and I wouldn't be here. So maybe if I can like strengthen someone's bond with scootering or passion with BMX, you know, maybe they'll grind through that. If something bad happens or someone comes in and like tries to put them down, they'll just go past it and they'll keep riding. So I'm thinking like, I do it for that, and I also do it for myself. Like selfishly, I like to interact with people. I like to see them stoked, you know, because I used to be that kid. Yeah. And if I had Travis Pastrana go down the skate park, you know, I'd be at the skate park every single day that he was at the skate park. Yeah. So it's like, whatever I can do now to like inspire some kids, especially when I'm at home. Like I'm stuck at home, haven't done Nitro Circus, haven't done anything like that stoke people out. And that was like the biggest thing that I loved about Nitro Circus was like, I do a show and I get to show like these people that maybe have never even seen like scootering or BMX in that way. And then I can go out there and like show them how much fun we're having and how much fun you can have, and maybe inspire them to go out there and give it a go. And then maybe that puts them on a better path in life, you know. That feeling of knowing that I might be doing that for someone, it was like, that was an incredible feeling. And to like lose that, I only started to notice how much like it was affecting me. And then after a while I was like, why am I even doing these tricks? Like, why am I waking up and trying to do new tricks anymore? And I woke up with like
feeling unmotivated. Why am I even doing this? And then I'm like, you know what it is? I think it's because I'm not like, I feel like it's hard to see that you're inspiring people when you're just like posting on social media. Even though I love to do it. Like I love to post it up and like, I'm sure it does inspire a lot of people.
It doesn't feel real though, right?
It doesn't. Like you're behind a screen and you're just like, oh, they said that, they really like that. And it's like, that is awesome. And I love it. And like, I'm sure it does inspire people, but it's different when you're standing on the other side of a fence at Nitro Circus and you see them like so stoked, and you know that like they're stoked for that 1 hour or 2 hours during the show, and it could really, help them out. Yeah. Even if it's just a little bit.
Dude, what's crazy, Corey Parker played for the Broncos. I don't know if you're in the footy, but
if I've seen his face, maybe.
Yeah, he's like played for Queensland. Yeah, he's one of the dudes.
Yeah.
And he told me this story that he was like 13 years old, and he said to his mum and dad, like, the Broncos just won the premiership. They beat an away team, and then the bus pulled up at the Brisbane airport.
Yeah.
They lived in Toowoomba, and he begged his mum and dad to take him from Toowoomba to the airport so that he could like be there when like the team got on the bus. Anyway, he pushed in line, young kid, got Alfie Langer and Kevin Walters took a photo with him and all that. He played for the Broncos.
Yeah. See, and that happens. It literally does.
He told him, and he went up to him, and he's like, hey, like, you guys made such a big impact on me. But it's rare, I think, to find somebody that embraces it in the way that you've embraced it. And you're still so young to like want to have that impact on people.
Yeah. I think that drives me, like it almost like gives me energy, I think, to like keep going, keep pushing. Like I'm obviously trying to push every day, but then sometimes I'm like asking myself, like, why am I even pushing? And then that reminds me of like why I still like, obviously I'm doing it for myself as well. Like it feels great to like learn something new, progress, do a new trick. But I think that it feels greater to know that like maybe I'm helping someone else or inspiring someone else. Yeah. So I think that and that's why I'm doing like these Friday ride days, is because I know that they're the little kids coming up, and they maybe like this thing going on, maybe it stopped them from going, and now they're just like not going because they don't know why. Like their friends aren't going anymore. They're just playing video games because that's all they could do for like a little bit, and then they get stuck in the rut, Yeah. And then maybe this, like doing these ride days, and then I post them on my YouTube, and I'm like, come on, get your mates, let's go ride on Friday, like, or any day, just organize a day, and once like that engine started again, they kick into gear, and they kick into gear. Like I got in a rut where I like didn't even feel like riding, and then you just like start that engine again, and then you're revved up to go. Yeah,
dude. No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. It's funny that you said that it's like selfish at times too, because one of the things that I noticed with this podcast when it started getting bigger, is like at the start it was just like, it's just and I tell people it's a cool job. Like I have to do a job. Like I don't have enough money to not have a job. So like I want to have a cool job. This is a cool job. Yeah. But then eventually when it gets like bigger and you're just getting these messages constantly from people like, I took this from this, and Harry Binks, like the man, and I like, he's changed the way I looked at this, and the Travis, and you see the impact that it has on people, and then it does become this, like, it's weird though, because I see that and it feels good. I'm like, oh man, this feels like great to like help that person. And then it sort of like plays on your mind a bit. You're like, wait, is it like selfish that I want to help people? And it's like a weird thing, right?
Yeah. It does feel strange, but like, obviously, it's not like
it can't be bad.
It's like two positives though. So it's like, but it's I get the feeling it's like weird, but I'm loving it, and like I think the kids are loving it. I'm trying to like keep up to give giveaways and stuff to keep them stoked, and I think that like at the end of the day, it will inspire some people to go out and ride, and I'm just gonna like keep doing it because it's fun and it gets me riding every Friday. Instead of like maybe I'll wake up and not want to ride, but I'm like, nah, got to ride. It's Friday ride day. Yeah.
Man, some people, when they get famous, it's like this weird isolation thing where they're just like, you get famous, which means you get recognized, and then people want that at the start, and then they get recognized a bunch, and then they start to feel like that they should be distant and that people shouldn't have access to them. And it's like it can get real weird for people. And especially like you're super young to be like a famous dude, but you still want to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Like constantly in that realm. Like, did you ever have that when you did start like really blowing up, or is it like you blew up so young that like you almost don't know any other way now?
I think that I was just like, when I was young, like I was just stoked, like so stoked. And like, even if I was famous, like, I don't know what famous even really, like you're not like Justin Bieber famous. You're not like that famous. So it's like,
You're the scooter Justin Bieber.
I actually did a live with him once on Instagram. He accepted it.
Did you really?
Yeah, legit.
No shit. How was that?
It was interesting. I like didn't think he would accept. He was just live, and I'm like, he was like talking to people. I'm like, I'll just do it. And then he answered. I'm like eating my breakfast. I'm like, whoa, what the? This is my mom. And my mom was like eating breakfast. My mom didn't believe me. She was like, hey, like to like Justin Bieber. And my mom didn't believe. She thought I was just like pranking her.
Oh, that's
that
awesome.
was just weird. But yeah, I don't like. No, I have got to like moments where like you kind of feel, I don't know, like you don't want to, like if I'm ever like sad sometimes I like don't want to tell anyone because like I don't want to put anyone else like in. I shouldn't be sad.
You're the vibe guy,
you know. But but you're like, sometimes you're like, I shouldn't be sad because I'm, you know, look what I've got, look what I've done, you know, like how cool it is what I have. And you know that if you did express it, sometimes people would be like, why are you even sad, dude? You got this and this.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing when you like are famous.
Yeah. Yeah, that is there. Yeah, that would be a bit of a weird deal because like you're sort of, especially with social media, like you're showing, like you have a brand essentially, like,
yeah.
And I think this is one of the things where like it kind of ruins famous people is that like you sort of, you're this character.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like you're Ryan Williams, but then you're RWilly. And then I think that some people, they get so into playing the character of themselves. And like, let's say Conor McGregor, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I feel like there's Conor and then there's Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And then you get so invested in playing the character of Conor McGregor that it takes over your life completely. And then you sort of like, there's like a disconnect between like who you are and who your brand is and this character that you're playing. And I feel like, yeah, when your brand is just being like this, the best vibe dude ever, like it would be weird to
not be vibe.
Yeah, to like not be the vibe, you know?
Yeah, but that's like it's like a rare occasion. But I think that's why I've always kind of like, I always just am like on YouTube, like everything I do, I'm always just myself.
Yeah.
You know, I always am because I knew that. And the only, like, you're going to get so far, you're going to get so far on whatever you want to do, YouTube, like being a personality. I'm just saying, like, you're going to get so far being this thing that you're trying to be. And then eventually you're not going to be able to be exactly
You're going to get
anymore,
over it.
You know?
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to be exactly that anymore. And then it comes all apart. Whereas if you're just yourself, even though you might not go as fast, might not like catch that wave as fast, but you're slowly going to build up. And even though it might take a little bit longer, you're just yourself. You're not pretending to be anyone. And that was one thing I always remembered from doing like YouTube. I didn't ever want to be like this character. I kind of just wanted to point the camera at who I was.
Yeah.
And then, you get to a point where you're doing well and you're just yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people, I think, get that wrong. Like they look at what's trending right now and the things come in and out of trends so quickly, but like Travis Pastrana's never come in and out of trend. You know what I mean? Like the guys that do take and even Brian Deegan, like he couldn't be that character his whole career. Like he's this family dude now, and he's like he's literally the nicest guy ever. But he like spent this time like playing this character and he killed it at it. But it gets to a point where he's just like, oh, fuck, I'm just regular, man. Like I just got kids and they like piss me off.
I think it might work though. Sometimes it might work and like you might get like where you want to be and then you're done. You're like, whatever, I'll just be I'll be back to like being this nice guy now. But I think that for the majority, just like be yourself, 100%. Just whatever, like don't pretend to be anyone, and it's going to be way easier, even though it's going to take longer to like do whatever you're striving to be or do.
Yeah. When did you start the YouTube stuff? Were you on that pretty early, like in terms of just like the platform in general. Like it's pretty hard to make it on YouTube nowadays.
Yeah. In like I came in a little bit late, like to actually like putting effort into it. All I would do is like I would just put up my web edit, like my edits, you know, like and that's what you would make when you're in action sports. You know, you'd make your edits. So
how many of them were you doing it? Like
so the edits is like once every 6 months.
Yeah,
you know?
so you're just like saving up banger after banger.
It's not like actually being like a YouTuber and like trying to get two or three videos out a week.
Yeah.
I started doing that probably maybe 3 years ago. I started doing that, but I was on YouTube since like 2007 because I always loved like watching YouTube and like trying to upload. But 2007, like that's when the only reason I know that number is because that's when my account was made, but I didn't upload a video for like 8 years. And then I started uploading. But I think about 3 years ago, I started kind of like actually doing YouTube. And the reason why is because I would do like Nitro Circus shows and the people and kids would come up and they're like, oh, have you seen Tanner Fox or the Funk Bros? And I'm like, yeah, they're like my friends from scootering. That's crazy. And they're like, yeah, he did this and that and this. And I'm like, well, this like really has a huge impact on
that
these
Tanner
kids.
Fox kid is insane, man. He has like a big business.
Yeah, legit. But the thing is that he came like...
Was he a scooter kid?
He's still a scooter kid. And I met him like... Not the first time I went to America when I was like really young, but like maybe when I was like 17. And this kid was like 14, 13. And he was like, Ryan Williams. And I'm like, what? I'm like sick, like mad friends with him because he like actually is a good scooter rider. Did like double bars flat, came to like Caloundra Skatepark and rode and like he just like nailed it. Like he got that wave where he just did it for like consistently, like so consistently, like, and props to him because look where he is now. But he like worked so hard and just filmed anything, everything, put it up, didn't ever slow down, and then he like just smashed it, you know. And then I seen him do that obviously, and at first I was like, oh, that's sweet what you're doing. And like I seen him when I started noticing, I'm like, whoa, he's like got 200,000 followers on Instagram. And then a year later, he's like got double me. And I'm like, what is going on? That's so sick, you know? Good on him. And then I just seen that he was just doing the YouTube thing and like doing a bunch of like hard work and it paid off. And then the same thing with the Funk Bros, which is another brothers that ride scooters. They went to the YouTube route and like still incorporate scootering, which is rad. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And then 3 years ago, I just was like, I'm going to start doing it. Even though, like, to be honest, it is weird. It was weird. Still, it is weird still, sorry, that to film myself, you know, like I like to be in the moment, especially if I'm meeting like people I idolize, like certain BMX riders. Like if I go to the skate park and they're there, I do still feel like, oh, it's weird to like show this, but that's what like kids want to see. Even if I am like feeling weird, I should like show that still because that's how that kid feels when he sees me, you know. And if they can bond with you on that level, then that's like a lifetime fan that you gain. But that's just what I noticed. And I started doing the YouTube, and then 2 years later, like now I go to the shows and people are like, oh, remember this video where you did this? And I'm like, honestly, I can't remember that. That's impressive that you remember that. And that's super sick to know that they get to that really makes an impact. And I think that's the main reason why I'm doing YouTube now, because I know that is another way to inspire kids and people to just do better. Yeah,
the thing too, man, it's definitely something I've learned through doing this podcast. Like I'm so blessed with the people that I know. Like I've been lucky enough to work with some of the best people and I've got amazing friends, but the reality is not everybody in the world is that lucky. Yeah. And there are people that like in the circles around them, they don't have good people. Like there's no one to give them good energy. There's no one to pump them up. There's no one to give them the message of like, dude, if you work hard at this, you can be awesome. It's like so many people are just met with this like, dude, scooters are so shit. And you know,
I know,
so it's like the internet has become a place where you can choose the people that you want to like lift you up. Yeah. And then be kids like that kid that remembers that certain part of that video, like for whatever reason that hit that kid real good. Yeah. And you just, it's sort of I think it's taken for granted when you're the person that's producing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You take it, some people take it for granted, like the impact that it does have. And that's one of just the things I think is so impressive with what you do in general, is that it's just like you've really identified the importance of that in other people, like not even just for yourself.
Yeah, I think I just heard it, and then to realize that really, like, I think it's because, if you see something every morning, or you see someone every day, you see someone every day, that person becomes like, you're like best friends with that person. If Tanner Fox is making a video every single day and the kid's watching it every single day, Tanner Fox is basically that kid's best friend. Like, he's seeing the best bits of Tanner Fox's day every day for like 10 minutes, however long the video is. And then he's now Tanner Fox. Tanner Fox, it literally feels like his best friend or his friend. And
and you notice that when like kids meet you too, right? They know everything about you.
And the thing is, it's awesome and it's kind of scary at the same time. These kids, like, there's no barrier. They're like, oh, this. They're like full on. It's like they already know me, which is sick. But when it's like 50 kids, you're like, but it's so rad to see, because you know that bond's already there because of YouTube. Yeah, which is rad.
When did you start? Did it like become a business? Because essentially, like, you've done a business degree, but through scootering, which is crazy. Like, you understand analytics.
Yeah,
you understand how to run a business in terms of like invoicing and shit like that. You understand how to market yourself. You understand making content. Like, you've literally done a business degree from a very young age. But like, where did that sort of start? And when did you start thinking about the business side and building your brand and merch and brand deals and like?
Yeah.
Did you ever have people helping you out with that, or you sort of like literally just learned it as you went?
Yeah, I've never had a manager, so it was like kind of like it's interesting, like obviously doing Nitro Circus and then like organizing my deals. And like when I first started off with, they were like, here's $250. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Like, I'm like,
I'll do a triple backflip for $250.
I'm like 17 years old and I'm like, woo, that's so sick. I get to like do what I love for $250. Sick. And then eventually it's like, well, you got to start to argue like, oh, this is what I'm bringing. And then you have to like talk. So I guess I was kind of like forced to do that. And I always knew, I hate like, because I obviously come from like my mom being a single mom, I didn't have that much money. So even now it's like, even though I have the money to like go buy a crazy car, it's like, I'm really happy with like just my standard car, and I'm happy to go from A to B. But I think that I just kind of like got forced into learning what to do, and then doing YouTube. I was really passionate about it, so I learned everything about it, and then I seen the analytics and like I looked into it, seeing what's going on YouTube. Because at first you're like doing the video, you make a video and you're like, this is the sickest video ever.
No one watches it.
No one watches it. And you're like, what is going on? And then you're like, maybe if you look into the analytics enough, you can see like, oh, this is where like people are like, I'm over it. I'm not watching it anymore. Yeah. So then you realize that maybe you need to get into it quicker, make the video shorter. As long as people are watching it longer and the video shorter, your video is going to do better. So obviously you do your own research, and then, I don't know, kind of on the contractual side, like managing my deals, I just kind of, I don't know, learned over time. I'm sure like I definitely don't know as much as like someone that's more in the game would. Yeah. But I have a decent idea and I'm happy with what I'm earning, and I know kind of like what is worth it for me. Yeah. And you know, at the end of the day, you're the one putting the figure on what you think it's worth. And if someone's going to pay what you think it's worth, then you're
happy days.
Yeah, all good.
Was there, or like, what's your reservation for having a manager? Like, did you hear, like, was there stories where you heard about guys getting shafted with managers, or it was just something you never wanted to do? Or I
don't know. I think it's in Australia. Like, I don't know many athletes in Australia that actually have managers. I think that in America, it's like a big thing. Like, everyone that was the big dogs had a manager. And I think that's because a lot of, in America, it's like very commercial. So it's like, there is a lot of people that are getting sponsored or doing things like back in the day, more so too. I think now what is happening, like my mate Andy Buckworth always said this, he's a pro BMXer, that like back in the day, Dave Mirra, Matt Hoffman, the pie was so big and there was like only a few people eating from it, you know?
Yeah.
And now the pie is smaller and there's 100 people eating from it. So it's like, it's so hard now to even get any piece of the pie that it's like, I don't know. It's
And
like,
so much stuff just goes like down in the DMs these days too.
Yeah.
Like you can do an insane amount of business through Instagram DMs though.
Well, even like just being in contact with other people, like that's one thing that is huge, I think, for like growing yourself in certain areas. It's like it's not what you know, it's sometimes who you know, you know? And then if you can collaborate with like people that are like-minded people and you're kind of like stuff joins and you like do well. Like I think I got in one of Tanner Fox's videos and then, or Roman Atwood's, another one actually, I got in his video and I went up like 60,000 subscribers in like a day. And
That is hectic.
Yeah, and then you make like a really good video with him in it and I get like 2 million views. And then you just got to like, it's about capitalizing on certain situations too, you know? If a good opportunity comes your way, really like focus on capitalizing it. And I think that's like a major thing that you should focus on with anything really.
Yeah, man. You've got, it's so funny because like you probably wouldn't consider yourself to be like a very business savvy, wise kind of dude in this respect. But like, man, you would know so much more shit than you even think you know about this stuff, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like, I guess...
No, it's a good thing.
But maybe my life is a little bit. Sometimes I do realize that my life's a little bit too intertwined in like social media. I've been noticing it lately that I like.
In what way?
I think that I'm like looking at my phone way too much.
Yes. I don't even know how much you are, but yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason you know is like when I'll wake up in the morning and it's like I'll be on my phone for like an hour before I get out of bed. But if like some days I'll just have something to do and I'll get out of my bed and I won't even check my phone till like at least like lunchtime or later. You know, it's only when you don't even check it at all at the start of the day or you don't even like look at it. That's when you like have a good day and you get so much done. And then it's when you like wake up the first thing you do. That's when you
scroll hole, bro. The scroll hole.
I think the last probably 2 months of my life, I'm like, I got to stop doing this. But then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's hard. Have you got like a time limit on your phone?
Nah, I should set it.
Yeah, you should do that. Mine's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it's like that seems like a lot if you're like, whoa, an hour and a half on Instagram. Like, and I only use Instagram. Like I don't do any other socials.
You don't like. Do you not watch any YouTube videos or anything?
Yeah, I watch YouTube, but man, it's just like time. I feel like YouTube's now like a luxury for me.
Yeah.
Like I have to. Me and Ronan were watching YouTube in here before. You guys got here because we're just chilling.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, I really try and double down on like I'm watching YouTube this is like leisure time because I don't even have a TV in my house. Yeah. So I clip the TV from the program. I was like, I ain't doing this anymore because, and I didn't even have like channels on it. I just had YouTube, and I was just like watch YouTube, and you just get like the thing that I don't think, that social dilemma people are talking about, like that really went into. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't either. But a bunch of people talk about it. But like the smartest people in the world, are spending billions of dollars in keeping you on that phone.
Yeah, and it's working.
And it's working. Yeah,
of course it is.
Yeah, like you're an idiot if you think that you could fight that.
Smarter,
you know what I mean? Like so bro, I'm the worst. Like I see a YouTube thumbnail, like, and I know how you'd know how important YouTube thumbnails are. Yeah, and it's like, dude, it was one morning this week where I opened up my laptop. I had to do some emails in the morning straight away. Yeah, and my computer was on YouTube, and I was like, damn it, like 6 of these thumbnails look so good to me. I was like compelled to click on these videos, and even some of it I kind of like half knew what they were even going to be. So it's like these platforms are so good at keeping you on. And man, I spend so much time thinking about how to get people to watch my videos on YouTube. And it's like, you've got to know every time you open your phone. It's almost like you got to be like, take a breath and be like, okay, I know they're trying to keep me on this thing. All right, be better than the phone. Be better than the phone. And it's like, have a look and then put it down.
Yeah, I just got to keep, once you get your like mind, you got to keep like just organize something and then just go do that to stop you from like starting. As long as it stops you from starting, then you won't get trapped in the whole of like just scrolling through any YouTube video that's just like takes your fancy.
Autoplay, man. They've got
so
it
bad.
dialed. But yeah, I mean, it's worrying for like young people with Instagram.
Yeah.
Because like when I grew up, bullying was just bullying.
Yeah.
And it was like you'd get pushed around and maybe you could fight the kid back or you could like say some shit to their face and like that was bullying. But like nowadays there's so much online bullying and you feel this pressure. Like I would hate to feel the pressure from a young kid to like have to post something cool that other people are going to like.
Yeah.
And other people are going to comment on it like that. Man, I just don't know that that's like a good pressure for kids to have. And I think that, I mean, it's one of the great things that you do is that like everything that you put out there is like positive and you know, you are trying to motivate people, but it would be pretty gnarly growing up in like that phone era.
Oh, now it would be so hard. That's why like it's hard. You gotta like just try to teach the kids that like it's almost inevitable now.
Yeah,
it
is.
sucks so much because it's like when back in the day it was like there was no like you were your face was there. Like if you were saying something like you were saying it, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like you don't even have a face. You don't even have like an identity. So it's like who cares what I say? I don't care what I say. I'm just gonna say whatever because no one's gonna know who I am. And that person might like it's just gonna. The thing that I don't understand is like where is this person coming from? And that's what I try to tell like anyone that's going through stuff like that is like maybe you got to think of like what state in your life, like how would you have to feel to go to someone's that you don't even know potentially, or even something you do know. What would it take for you to be feeling to have to go do that and like say something like or anything like really negative to someone? Like you have to be in a sad spot yourself. Yeah,
dude, I totally agree with that. Like even I've had this Harry will laugh. I've had this dramas with like this parking at my apartment.
Yeah.
And this guy is just like it's in like the level of which this guy is carrying on is like insane. And I had this chippy working at the house the other day and the chippy was so fired up. He's like, let's just fight this dude, bro. And I was like, no, man, like you can't understand, like, as bad as it is that this guy is, like, treating me the way that he is treating me, we cannot do anything but be, like, sad for him.
Yeah.
Like, his life sucks. If that's if this is how upset this guy is getting and being so completely unreasonable, like, I cannot be angry at him. I have to just be sad. And just try and understand that his life isn't that good if this is how he's trying to treat me. And it's like, I could either be terrible back to him and then just keep that cycle going. And it's just like, it's bad. Like, just keep that energy, or you just take it, just suck it up, feel bad for the guy, hope his day gets better. But it's like, it's really hard to have that position sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I do try to say, like, I tell people this story, like, obviously I was like I was the first scooter kid in the X Games lounge, right? Like, you know, I was the first guy probably to ever bring a scooter into the X Games lounge. And the funny thing is, like, half the people would have like a go. And they would like, ride it around. And the thing is, the people at the top, like the guys with the same passion as like what I feel for scootering, they have for like motocross, skateboard, BMX. And it's just like they know that we all share kind of that like same passion, because all action sports are real similar, you know? It's all like kind of a freestyle art.
Yeah.
So it's like we all have that same passion. So with them, there's none of them are like, stupid scooter kid, dude, what are you doing? Like, no one is like that, and that's because they're already up there. They're not feeling down. They're up there already. They have no reason to come down on me. Yeah. And then that just shows that's the reason why some people feel the need to do that, is they're trying to tear you down so they feel higher. And it's like, it's hard to understand that when you're just a little kid or just a scooter kid at the skate park. But I just hope that like when you grow up, you kind of see the pattern, and you just learn it.
Dude, you know what else that's the same as? Money.
Yeah.
Like Dana White money?
Yeah.
Do you think Dana White cares to like flaunt shit and tell people how much money he's got? Bruh, he's got billions. Yeah. And he don't care. Like he's over it. He's realized that money doesn't make him happy. He realizes that other stuff makes him happy. And that's the same stuff that's available to you when you're poor. And honestly, when you're super poor, you don't really talk about money. When you're super rich, you don't really talk about money. When you're in the middle, and it's the same thing, you know, you're like trying to pull people down, or you're trying to make yourself feel better than the people that are below you.
Yeah.
Like, it's always the people in the middle. And I found that with like the motocross dudes. So like, you'd go film and it was like a guy that's getting 10th or getting 15th, and he's like the one that's like trying to be cool and give you attitude, because it's like he's not where he wants to be, and he thinks that if he'll be happy when he gets there.
Yeah.
And then you talk to, like, you go shoot with Ricky Carmichael, best dude ever.
Yeah.
Travis Pastrana, best dude ever.
Yeah.
The dudes that are at the top that have just like RWilly, they've reached the top, and they're just like, this isn't the thing that like makes you happy. What makes you happy is your friends and your family. It's all the stuff that anyone can have.
Yeah.
And I think that it's that same sort of deal, you know, like, it's whenever you reach the top of the mountain, you realize that the things that you're stoked on when you're there, you've had them the whole time.
Yeah. I think that, like, you could have all the money in the world, and I think like, you could be so sad still, because I feel like I bought my house. I was so stoked. And then like, I bought this land, and I'm like building it like almost like Pastrana land, like what that is, but my like style. And I'm like, I don't want any more money. People are like, oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to make, like, if someone was to say, how are you going to make more money? It's like, well, I'm like pretty stoked with like what I'm doing. So I almost wouldn't even like, I don't even feel the need to like try reach anymore. I'm like so content with what I'm doing. And I think that I live so happily the way I am that I don't need a Lamborghini. Like, I just am so content with the people I have around me, and like with what I'm doing, like slowly building up this magical action sports like paradise. And I just don't feel like the need to go any further. And I think that if I did, like, it'd be cool, you know, it'd be awesome to like make it that little bit more money. But I think that there's like a perfect medium where it's just like, you're not doing too much work, but you're making enough to like get by. And there's just like that perfect happy medium where you can just live happily and like just be so stoked with like where you're at.
I wish that, like, when I was younger, I knew that actual, like, my definition of happiness these days is not wanting to change the current moment.
Yeah.
That's what happiness is. You're unhappy when you want to change, like, the moment that you're in right now. Like, if I was having this conversation with you and I wanted to be anywhere else in the world, that's unhappiness.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know that like gets told to people that much. And I think that people get told that you'll be happy when you have this, and I'll be happy if I get my podcast is number one.
They just think that they'll be happy when they reach the point.
Yeah.
And like, it's so sad because like, people sometimes reach that point and they're like, oh, I'm not happy. And then it's like, they've done all this stuff and they've grinded so hard, you know, they've made themselves unhappy during this point
during the
just
grind.
to try get happy, and then they get to the point and they're not happy. So it's like, you're right. You want to be just happy in the moment, and then like, you're sweet. Just keep yourself happy and keep trying to push forward. And I think that that's the best way to live life.
Yeah. Have you seen people have you watched people where like on your come up and you saw people that were just like grinding and just trying so hard, but they were like unhappy during like the process of doing what they were doing?
Yeah, I didn't like, I haven't seen, like, I've seen people that come into like a sport, any sport, like action sports, and they're like, they think that they know that, oh, they need to train every day. They need to do like certain things every single day, and like, and it's working. They're progressing faster. Like, it is working, but then they like get to a point where they're so unhappy that they just stop. They don't keep going. Where it's like, you'd rather like, it's almost like the turtle in the hare, you know? It's like, if you're just the happy turtle walking along, you're going to like keep going. And then the hare, like, I don't know what the story is really, but it's kind of like that. It's like, if you're the rabbit going so fast, and then something happens, you trip over, you're done. But the turtle's just like, never falls over, just keeps walking, you know, just keeps grinding. And then eventually he ends up further than the person that's like, do this every single day. Yeah.
And I think it comes back to even what you like at the very start, where you were just like, I just was happy doing the thing like 300 times.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's the process. And it's like, if you can focus on like doing the trick and just like every time you fail, go back up and just do it again.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, eventually. It does.
But if you don't like the process of doing it,
Yeah.
or you can't like be invested in that process of just doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it.
I always believe, like every single, even at 600 tries on a trick, I always believe that the next try is it. Like every single time. I'm never
Yeah,
like,
really?
I'm never like, this one isn't it. Like I'm always like, this is it. And I'll like tell myself, I'm like, I'll just get in these crazy moods. Like it has to be like within 13 or like between 15 and 20 tries. Like if I try a trick that many times, I'm like, I'm locked in, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, you're just there until it's done.
Legit.
Has it always been like that? Like was that you from day one?
You know what? I think it did grow into me a little bit, but I always like would grind. But I don't think when I first started, I didn't try a trick 300 times in one day. But now I do. I don't know. I think I understand that once I do it, that's like the reward, you know. And I know the reward's there. But when I was like 13 years old or like 12, you know, I was like, well, I don't want to try it anymore. I want to try a different trick, you know?
Yeah.
You know, but now I'm like 26 and I'm like, if I just don't stop for 4 hours and I roll away, I'm going to get heaps of likes on Instagram.
It works, but
Kind of, yeah. And I do feel just like, it's not even about that. It's just like that roll away makes all those like attempts worth it because, you know, that was the journey to the success.
man, I wish, like, could you describe the moment, like what you feel in terms of like, is RWilly even there when you roll away from a trick, or are you just like everything? Like the fear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I'm big into like meditation, right? And there's just some now that I've got into that, I can sort of relate so much stuff back to like motocross and when you land a BMX trick and when you like jiu-jitsu when you roll. It's like I'm not in that thing anymore. Yeah. Like I'm so pumped on it that like I actually don't even exist. And I think that that's sort of the feeling that you chase. And it's like when your wheels land and you roll away, and it's almost like, is RWilly even there at that point, or are you just like a feeling?
Yeah, I don't know. Like
it sounds weird, but like if you think about it,
I got you. There's like always that split second. You know what I was just thinking about the feeling, and it's almost like you're going on the giant drop for the first time, you know? And there's like, you're not sure what it's going to feel like. And the giant drop is like, it's like an amusement ride that drops for everyone that's just listening that maybe hasn't been to Dreamworld, but literally
rest in peace,
like,
Dreamworld.
yeah, it like goes up and then you don't know when it's going to drop, but it does eventually, but you're just sitting there waiting for it. Yeah. And there's like that when it goes, you don't know don't know it's gone for like 1 second, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the same feeling I get when I like, if I land a world's first trick that like I was like really wanted to do, that I'm really stoked on, there's that 1 second where I'm landing, but I'm like, I'm not even there. I don't even know I'm landing. I'm like, and then it takes that 1 second, and then you know it's like,
and then you think about what you just did, and it brings you back to the experience. Yes, exactly. And then you're like, I know.
And it's like a roller coaster because it's like you're like waiting for it. You're like, it could happen now. It could happen now, and then it goes. But for a second, you're like, what's happening? And then you're falling. You're like, oh yeah, I'm falling.
Yeah, it's only like you've only got the experience itself left. And then you don't come back into the picture until you think about what you just did. Yeah. It's a crazy feeling, man. I think it's been something I've been thinking about so much lately, is like, that's the thing in all of action sports, in my opinion, no one really knows what it is. I don't think everybody.
It's like the kick. That's what you're chasing. You know? Like when you get that, that's like that's what gets a kid hooked, you know, and like that feeling, you know, like whatever trick it is, it could be anything, you know, it could be like dropping in for the first time and you finally make it past like that point that you couldn't get past, and you passed it. You're like, am I past it? Oh yeah, I'm past it. Yeah. Look what I did. And that's the feeling. And it doesn't change, like, no matter what, like from my first tower whip to my first triple front flip on BMX, it was like the exact same feeling.
Yeah. No, and you know, like I always would think that, like in motocross terms, James Stewart having to hit the brakes for a turn, like high speed, fourth gear wide open. Then when he's like, shit, I need to hit the brakes.
Yeah.
That same like that feeling that you get, or when you're in a car and you're like coming into a turn and then you got to hit the brakes and then you steer it in, like that giant drop feeling that you described. Like that is the same, even though James Stewart is going way faster than me. We're sharing the same experience, and you doing a triple front flip is the same experience that a kid is having when he drops in for the first time.
That's why I tell kids that, because they're like, oh, what
does it feel like?
What does it feel like? That's exactly what I feel. They're like, what does it feel like? And I'm like, it feels like exactly as when you did whatever trick you just learnt, you know? Or even and for me, it's like, I try to scale it. Like, say if it's the triple front flip, I'm like, well, it's like, that trick took me like 15 tries. It felt really dangerous. You know, it's like, well, it's like if you did your first double whip and it was really hard, took you maybe 100 tries. It's like that moment when you land and your feet are actually on and you're rolling away, but you can't believe that it wasn't like the last 199 attempts and this time you're like rolling away.
Yeah, dude. It's so cool to hear you describe it in that way. And I think it's so important to relate it back to kids, that it's all the same. Yeah. And that it's like, it's the trick getting harder is just a result of you getting better. Yeah. Exactly. Like, you're not going to feel anything different by landing a triple flip instead of a double whip. Like, the feeling that you're chasing doesn't change. Like, the tricks getting bigger is only a result of you putting in more work. Yeah. And like, you'd think you'd get used to it, but you don't. Like, it's always such a good feeling. I think it's always like, it's always so rewarding to like keep pushing myself. Even these days, like after doing so many tricks, even just landing something like I could do something that's not even like that crazy, and it could just be on a skateboard, you know? Yeah. And that's why sometimes I'll jump on something that I haven't done before, rode that much, and even just learning something new. Like, I got a kendama. I don't know if you know what a kendama is. And like, do you follow No Jumper?
Yeah.
Shout out Adam 22.
So I even learned like a new trick today, and I was like, oh, there's that feeling. Yeah. So you can get it with anything. I'm sure like even people can relate that don't even do any action sports. There's like certain moments that you feel like, say the roller coaster moment, or like just like any kind of thing like that maybe you've been you've been trying to do and then finally get it done. I don't know, like you're trying to get your first A in school and then you get handed the paper and you're like, did I get an A? That's an A. Yeah, you know? Kind of similar, but...
And the Oscar goes too?
Maybe not as extreme.
What's your relationship with fear like? Like, are you scared of these tricks that you're trying, or have you calculated the risk to the point where the fear isn't there as much? Because like, I want to jump into Harry's airbag. Yeah. Super scared.
Yeah. Maybe you should be. Fear is a good thing to have. Like, fear is going to kind of tell you that range of like, how much risk are you, how much are you risking? Like, if your fear meter's up, there's a good chance that it's high risk, you know? So you got to listen to it. And I always have fear with any trick, like anything. I'm like, could I potentially hurt myself? Let me like think how I'm feeling about this. And that'll just help me. Like, obviously now I can be like, this is how hard the trick is. Do I think I'm going to land it? How many tries do I think I'm going to land it? But then I also have that little fear that I can like kind of use to make a decision of, should I really go ahead and do this? So it's kind of like an extra thing that I have now that I can listen to, that I'm like in tune with, and I will take into account, but I've lived with it so long that like I understand it. I think that I understand that I will have fear, but I know in my head that I know my skill level. I believe in myself, you know, so I do listen to the fear, but I know how to overcome it easier.
So it's like you've almost got a map to deal with it, or you've got like a way that it feels like a process, not like a barrier.
Yeah, I think so. But in saying that, there is moments where fear will take over, but during riding...
What's the kind of shit that scares you?
Disease.
Yeah, that's a
weird one. Hey,
that's a good one. What diseases are you scared of?
cancer. I don't
Scared
know,
of
like
the- scared of the
things like
COVID?
that, like things you can't control.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or
you
like
just can't control that.
skydiving with a person that's controlling. That's scary.
Have you skydived before by yourself?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've only done it once with a person, and then I'm like, I don't really like that I'm hanging off a person right now. Even though I trust them, kinda, but it's like I don't like hanging here, and I don't like this guy deciding what's happening to us both.
Yeah.
So that's a fear that I can't really I can't mess with.
Yeah, like you don't have too much of a say in
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
So that's where I can't turn off I can't overcome that fear. But I can walk through it. I can just go, I'm scared, jump, but I can't like submit it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. What sort of like do you have like a lot of self-doubt still at this point that you have to go through, like with, you know, your writing and always putting yourself out there, and, you know, like you said, you have those bad days. Like, do you still have some of that stuff that you have to deal with, or is that another process that you've kind of overcome over time, you think?
I think that like having such a good method of like overcoming it in writing has helped me a lot to overcome it in other situations. But I definitely get self-doubt in personal situations, like interactions. Maybe sometimes if I'm like, I don't know, even doing a podcast for the first time, I'll get nervous still.
You're killing it, so
You know,
you're good.
So, but the thing is, like, I still get nervous, and it's like it's hard for me to like tackle that nervousness, fear, the same way as I do writing. So, but it does help a lot because I'm like, no, believe in yourself, like you can do it, and I do believe in myself. But you know, you still hold that weird feeling of like doubt, and you get it everywhere. And like, I hope everyone knows that like I still feel doubt, and I'm sure everyone else does. Like, no one's like the perfect human that doesn't doubt himself ever. So it's good to have it, like, and everyone does have it, so it's okay to have it. But I just think that definitely writing has helped me like tremendously with overcoming fear, even in other parts of my life.
Yeah, when I was younger, I definitely thought that I was the only one that doubted myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I looked at other people and I was like, why are they so cool?
Yeah.
Why don't they have to like worry about this? Why don't they? But then you get older and you realize that like everybody, you know, that I'm sure Travis would have the same thing. Like, you know, you hang around riders and they're like literally second in points in the 450 class, and they're like heads a mess.
Yeah.
And you look at these people from the outside and they look like they've just got it all together, you know?
You know what is like something to maybe people can like bond with me like in this way, but it's like you know, I could go to a skate park and like, like you think I'm crazy, I'll like try any trick, but then it's like to talk to my mates about like the way I'm feeling. If I like have emotions and I like want to talk to my mates about the way I feel, it'll be so hard for me to like drop in a, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard for me to like make the jump. Whereas at a skate park, I'm like, yeah, jump.
Yeah.
You know, whereas when I'm like, talk to my mate about how I feel, it's like you can't, I like can't do it. It's so crazy. Like, but I have been lately, like I figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's crazy. I think that people would like, maybe that would help someone to know that literally like, sometimes it's harder for me to just talk about how I'm feeling than it is for me to drop in a triple front flip a BMX bike. Like, it's literally harder for me to do that, to talk about my feelings, than do a triple front flip on bike.
I feel like, isn't
that so weird? But I think that's even like between like men to men. It's like kind of a weird thing that I hope that it's like will change.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I think it is changing.
Yeah.
And you know, like I look at the way that I was brought up with my dad. Like my dad's like played footy and that sort of thing, and he wasn't really. My dad never really spoke to me in that sense, and I still don't really talk to my dad about that much of that stuff. But you know, like Sammy, I'll talk to Sammy about everything. Yeah, you know, and like even tonight we were driving. Like I drove him into town, and like I'd be like, oh man, like I know that this and this, but like I really don't think that that's a good idea. And you know, you need to. I think that you need to go through life being able to like trust certain people with like everything, because man, like
it helps so much. Like once you do like open up to someone, like you feel so much better. Even just saying it, like even just by saying how you're feeling, it like takes the pressure off so much.
Yeah.
And I don't think some people just like bottle it up.
Yeah.
And like I did that for a little bit and it like destroys you. Like even if it's not like the worst thing and but if you keep it inside you, it like can manifest into something way worse than if you just like take the leap and just like talk about it to someone.
Well, the thing that really gets you is that your own thoughts are what ends up like poisoning the well.
Yeah, yeah.
And like if you don't have somebody else's more, like your problems in your head would seem bigger to you than if you spoke to somebody about, like, let's say you've been sitting on something for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And you've like, it's been going around and around in your head. It's like driving you crazy. It would have started as something like not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But by the time you actually get to the point where you end up talking about it, it's like it's caused you so much of this stress, and just one person's like fresh perspective or one of your mates being like, dude, I feel like that constantly.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's just going to be like, whew,
yeah, 100%.
what? You feel like this all the time too?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, yeah, dude. And
Yeah.
it can just instantly take it away. But I think that, I mean, it's probably an Aussie culture thing too, you know, like, and especially like, you know, growing up with just a single mum,
Yeah.
you know, like there probably wasn't always like that, you know, dad sort of talk to you kind of thing as well. So I mean, that probably plays into it. But
Yeah, for
like
sure.
at the end of the day, like, dude, yeah, you gotta get that shit out.
Yeah,
And
100%.
I think too, like maybe people underestimate how much their friends actually care about them too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so to where like, I know right now that I've got a bunch of boys where if they told me they like, hey man, drop everything tonight, like I'm going through like a real tough time. Like I care about my friends enough that they couldn't say anything to me that is like too much for me to take on, you know? And I think that maybe people don't even understand how much the people that are close to them really do
100%.
care.
I think that you almost like block it out in your own mind. It's weird. Like that's what I did. I was like, I just don't want to like put this onto the people that I really care about. Even though it's like not even that, like whatever. It's like, oh, I'm feeling unmotivated every day. Like I don't know what's going on. I just like don't want to get up and ride. I don't want to like do anything. And it's like if I just talked to someone, it'd probably be way easier. But then I just sat there and like just moped to myself.
Yeah.
But I know, and like everyone, like I know deep down that like my friends would like help me if I just talked about it.
Yeah.
But like I just didn't do it. And I think that everyone's friends would do that. I just think that we just, for some reason, like you just try to like bottle it up because you think that, oh well, I'll just hold on to it myself. I'll get through it myself. Where it's like if you just spread the load like onto your friends, that's kind of sounded weird. But not like that, Luke. Sorry, dude.
You're good at it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like it just lessens the weight that you're carrying.
Yeah, definitely. And that's, man, it's a really good way to find out who your actual friends are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Man, there would be nothing worse than rolling with fake people that don't, like, if my friends don't want to hear about the stuff that is like kind of worrying me,
Yeah.
I don't really need that person in my life to be honest, because it's like, I'd feel like I kind of offer that same support to people that if they don't want to hear from me, it's like, all right, dude, well, we ain't really homies.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's part of just growing too.
Yeah.
And as you're still super young, really.
Yeah, I get 26.
26.
26, not bad. But when I shave, I'm like 20.
Yeah,
I
dude.
just shaved recently. I had a beard cranking.
Did ya?
And then not like that, not that cranking. But
This is probably too cranking.
but then I shaved it to be Wolverine. I like shaved like the middle, like down like that.
Oh, like Halloween?
And yeah, and shaved like my mustache off, so I wasn't gonna rep the Wolverine. But I think I'm gonna grow it back.
Yeah, get it
Kinda
back, I
grew on
reckon.
me.
Can you, well, literally.
I can kind of get a little bit, except I got blondies on my chin. But let's not talk about that.
Yeah, no, you'd be right. Just run. You're Ryan Williams, bro. You can do whatever you want to do.
Maybe, yeah, true. I'll give it a go.
What was it like for you when you finally, you kind of get doing the nitro thing, like you looked up to Travis forever, and then you get to be around that kind of guy that can give you, like, I know he would have really big brothered you in like a ton of different ways.
Yeah, I think that the thing that honestly was like the best thing about Travis is that he was just the nicest guy to absolutely everyone. And that kind of like surprised me because, you know, when you think about Travis and you haven't met him, you're like, this guy is the guy. Like, he's the man. He is like literally top tier action sports, like legend.
Yeah, he's the god.
Exactly. So it's like you don't even though you like don't expect him to be mean, you expect him to kind of like, you know, be that like the upper high authority like figure.
Yeah.
And like he was just like my best friend, like instantly. He was everyone's best friend instantly. And to see that was like just the coolest. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then it's just so cool the way that he rubs off on people. Like when I was hanging around him and I was riding with him, I would like better myself. I would somehow like, I would reach this new level. And he does it to everyone around him. Like everyone that comes on Nitro, if Travis is there, if Travis is on tour, the level is like, somehow it's just like plus 10. Like someone's just gone, you know? And it's like he's not even doing it. He's like not even really.
It's not something he's trying to do.
Yeah, legit. He's not even like trying to do it. It's just that his aura, his figure, like, and the way he acts, it just hypes you up so much. And like, that's the thing that inspires me the most. That's what makes him my inspiration, is the way he can just turn everyone else's level like up. Yeah.
And he's a dude that for everything that he's done, he just doesn't have an ego. Like, dude.
He's just like, yeah, guys, it's so sick. I love it.
And it's so genuine. Like it's so, there's nothing that's fake. Like I don't know. I'll think about whether I'll cut this bit out, but I've done like, we've done like super serious, like interviews with Red Bull and he just no pants on. and like we've framed it so it's just like up like this, and just because like he just wants to be like, he's just the man and he's just bringing that vibe and like not taking himself so serious. He's not of anybody that could be like the cool guy or sorry mate, I got 2 minutes for you. Yeah, mate, he's the exact opposite. He's like the dude, he treats you like the guy that like he's desperate to come up, and it's like, bro, you've met, like you're the guy. And man, not a more humble dude going. Yeah,
I had a situation where we were like I was at his house and it was like he had like this fire engine thing that had like a 100-foot lift, and we were like jumping off it into a bag. And like I remember I like, he was like, come on Ryan, come on, I'll really come up here and do it. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I went up there and there was a guy named Crumb as well. He was up there. I was like, oh, you go first, like, because I was only gonna like front flip off. So like front flipped off. And
how high was it?
Oh, it was like 100 foot.
What?
Like, legit, it was insane. It was so crazy, onto like a big airbag. And it was so scary for me to do, but I did it and I felt like I fell for ages. And like, even though the bag's so soft, it like kind of still hurt because it was such a big jump. Yeah. And then next was Crumb. He like jumped naked, like just like this. And then Travis was up and he has a beer and a beer bong, like thing like that. And he's like got a snorkel, maybe it's called, I don't know. Yeah. And he's like poured beer into it. And then he's like shirtless and like has American undies on or something like that. And he did a Sukahara, which is like a front flip 180 to a back flip while he sculled a beer through a tube. And I'm like, what is even going on? And then we go over to like the, this is a different day, so he wasn't drinking and riding, but he come over and we're like riding the jump, like doing this contest. He comes out on a mountain bike, just randomly pulls it out of his garage, does a double backflip 360 on mountain bike. And like, he's only one of the only people in the world to do that. And he's like, not even a mountain bike rider, just hucks it.
It's insane.
So sick. And that's like, I'm like, that's why I want to build Willy Land. And I want to like, he's just inspired me so much, the way just his character and like the way he is around people and what he brings out of them.
Yeah, man, you're so right. And like his like competitive nature, we did, you know, they do 2-stroke week.
Yeah.
So we just did like, we were filming it for Red Bull and then we rode all day at the track and then they got the jet ski buoys at his Florida house. Yeah. And there was him and Tara Geiger, massive, like a few of the crew. Yeah. And like Tara Geiger just smoked him on this thing. And like he would not stop. It's dark. Everyone's just like, bro, no one's even taking your lap time right now, dude. Yeah. And it's just like, he just couldn't let it go, man. Like he was just in for the long haul. on
Yeah,
that
I
shit.
know his competitiveness. It's sick though. Like I actually beat him in beer pong once. I know he wouldn't want me to say that, but I did.
Claim
and
it,
like,
bro.
how could I beat? I was like, and it was a big one too. Like I don't know. He obviously likes beer because it was like 20 cups each. And I'm like,
no.
I beat Travis, and I even got a photo because I was like, I need to get a photo of this moment.
Yeah, dude, that's such like if you wanna like push yourself, that's like the crew to be around.
Yeah, if you can beat Travis Pastrana in something, make sure you like document it. It'll really pee him off.
Yeah, I've never beaten Travis.
It's
Pastrana.
hard. That's why you got to document it.
Well, dude, like they had Big Buck Hunter in the house.
Yeah.
And like I was like, dude, I'm not
You're never
I'm
gonna
not
beat him
in
at
on
that.
this at all. Like this is psycho.
Hence, so the as soon as you're gonna lose is when he says when he has it in his house. That's like if he has it in his house,
It's over.
you're gonna lose.
So was Pastrana Land that's your inspiration for Willy Land?
Yeah, I'd say so. Just because I knew that like I got the opportunity to go there and like I accomplished so much in so little time because he has like the facility and like the ramps and the training ramps.
So like the first time you went there?
Yeah. And that was where as soon as I went there, I'm like, I need to get this to like more people like in Australia because we're mad. Australians are mad and we don't even have like the facilities that Americans have.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, I know I'm going to get this made and this is going to like revolutionize it's going to progress.
Aussie riding,
Yeah,
for
Aussie
sure.
riders so much. And it already has. Like at my compound, I think we've had it set up for like maybe 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And there's like probably like 50 world first tricks on scooter and BMX. Like it's just, and it's only because these guys,
It's there.
yeah, it's there. And then these guys can now go out and like be the best they can be and have the facility to be able to, go and just explore their brain and pull out whatever comes out, give it a go. Does it work? No. Oh, does this next one work? Yes. Done. New world first.
Yeah, it is crazy the way that technology, like the bag jumps, the
amazing.
like resis and all that, like you can just like you can dream it, you can do it essentially.
Yeah, especially with the bag, like the big soft bag. It's like, it's pretty forgiving. Like my mate actually just destroyed his face though. So it is like, it's something that you got to remember that you
gotta
can't
respect
hurt
it,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to respect it. My mate actually like, he was just doing like a double flip heel kick or something on BMX and he like come off and he smashed his face on like the frame. So he landed on the bike and he split his like nose fully open. You could like see the back of his eye nearly.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's gnarly. But yeah, so you got to respect it. But in saying that, if you do, you can go out there and really try like any trick you want as long as you have like the escape points. You're not like,
Yeah.
you want to be aware of where you are.
Can you land on your head? Like if you do a backflip, you land on your head.
Yeah, you can land on your head. I don't know if you're on a motorbike. You don't.
I've been thinking about that with Harry's. I'm
on
like,
top. Are you trying to backy?
nah, I don't, I'm just gonna jump into
Jump.
it.
So the hardest thing about just straight jump is that he only has super kicker.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Well, he's got the.
He has a smaller
He's
one?
got it set up, so he's got the stupid mega Buddha
On one side.
ridiculous thing
Yeah.
that's out the back, and then he's got the moon Buddha here, and then I think he's done it so the concrete's wide enough that he can just like slide it all across.
Oh, nice.
So I think he's got the setup pretty dialed.
Yeah, and then
he's
if you can just like jump, if you come to my house, I got my mum to
I've seen the video.
I got my mum to jump mine on a trike, and she
Whoa.
was sweet, and she did it twice. She had that much fun and had 2 beers, and then she was like, "I'm going again," and went way faster.
Miracle.
I've been trying to get her to actually jump to the like landing because she did it so well.
Well, she used to race BMX.
Yeah, but I'm scared to get her on a BMX because it's like I get pro BMX riders out there and they like die.
Really?
Not die, but they like buckle on the ramp because it's like it's so different to a normal skate
yeah,
park. You
yeah.
have like so much more G-force going through the ramp, and as long as you like it's coming, you're sweet. But if you're just feeling
They
that for the
just soak
first
it,
time,
yeah.
you're like, oh, I need a pump, and then as soon as you pump, you can't stand up,
go
and then they
brrr.
just into
Yeah.
the ramp. Yeah,
There's a jump at Gympie at MX Farm. It's like this 120 foot triple, and the first time I jumped, I hadn't hit a big jump in ages. My body, like I was all like scared to hit it. I'm like,
you're just
on the
sitting
up
down, all of
ramp.
a sudden you're like, what?
I was just like, whoa, dude! Like you actually really need to hold your shit together to do this stuff.
Yeah, that's nice. I see with motorbikes, like I think I've only gone to a track once, and it was just in America for like some nitro circus filming thing. But dude, motorbikes scare me.
Yeah,
They're
you
like-
don't have any like desire to ride, you reckon?
Yeah, I do, but it's like
Risk
as
reward.
long as I can as long as I can still push and pedal, I'll probably just stick to that. And then like once I'm not into that, then I can twist my throttle. But I've like jumped. I went to cams and like flipped. Oh, Travis's obviously. You know, when you go to Travis Pastrana's, you have to backflip. So I backheated like a 110 there. And then I was like trying to fronty at Cam Sinclair's and like, I didn't even crash that bad, but the bike like hit me. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, I'm going to be fine. And then all of a sudden I was crushed by a bike. I'm like, I don't really like this heavy vehicle stuff. And that wasn't even a full size
Heavy vehicle.
That wasn't even a full size motorbike. But there is tricks that I think that I could bring from like the BMX to motocross. So
Ooh, what are you thinking?
Harry's watching probably.
Yeah, I know.
Harry's always like, give me tricks to try.
Really?
Literally.
Tell me what to do.
Literally, he's like, he always hits me up and it's sick though, because he's like, he just loves the way that like I'm always coming up with new tricks on BMX. And that's why like he's so stoked to finally have his compound where he can like kind of experiment like I do like every day.
Man, I am excited to see. But first of all, I'm stoked that he's probably not going to hit his head as much.
Yeah.
Because he's got the airbag.
Yeah.
And it's not like he has, dude, that down ramp. Did you see when Berriman was over and Berriman had that crash there? And
No,
he just
I didn't
like,
see that.
oh, dude, he just did like this whip and just got caught and just went slap and smashed himself, dude. That landing at 50-60 is like a straight concrete.
That's nice.
So first of all, I'm glad that Harry's probably not going to be crashing that much on that fucking down ramp. But like, man, it's going to be insane what he's able to do with like him full time every day on a bag.
Oh, I'm excited. And like, I'm sure he'll think of a bunch of tricks to try. I'm excited to see it. But yeah, that's the one thing about motocross is like so gnarly. Is like on BMX and like scooter, we can like jump off, you know, and like try again. It's like, but if they jump off, it's like, oh, can't try again for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like obviously but if they get off and like don't hurt themselves, that's like incredibly lucky. Whereas on BMX and scooter, you can like jump off and like get away, and that's kind of like normal.
Yeah,
and you're unlucky if you hurt yourself. Whereas on moto, it's like if you crash, you're like lucky to not hurt yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty gnarly. I think that I always have massive respect for moto guys. Like I can't believe like guys like Josh Sheehan and just every motocross freestyler and racers like at the top level is just insane. And that's why you see it like in their lifestyle. They're so well. Harry could party, but you know he's like. He'll party, but then he'll be at the gym, you know, like at 5 a.m. just preparing his body for war. Dude,
I've been around a lot of people. He's gnarly.
Yeah.
Like he's straight up super gnarly.
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't hide his partying.
Yeah.
But like he can send it, and I live in his old apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And so he runs past, like, I'll see him some mornings. I'm like waking up, went to bed at 10 o'clock, waking up, got me coffee, buckle-eyed, like sleep everywhere. Harry, I've like went to bed watching his stories, been like, whoop, big night for Harry, just drank a bottle of Fireball.
Yeah.
I feel like shit in the morning, and here's Harry. Just 6 a.m.
Just running and filming his dog like, yeah, come on.
Dude, nothing, like, and he feels like shit, and he just doesn't care. Like he has
mind over matter,
big time, man.
Yeah.
He is the gnarliest example of that, and like I'm glad that I think he does get the respect for that.
Yeah,
because like there's people, it's so easy to dismiss that as like, oh, he just mustn't feel it. It's like, no, he feels it, and he just doesn't care.
Yeah, that's like I'm impressed by that. Like that's incredible that he can do that, because I can't do it.
No, I'm right there with
and
you.
I'll try to work out. I'll like work out, and then like a week later I won't work out, you know? It's like but then I ride like every day, but it's like I just can't believe how like full on he is, and it just shows like all the motorbike riders are like that though. Like Josh Sheehan,
he's
like,
a tank,
incredible
too.
athlete, and like so fit, and you see like why he's one of the best in the world, and you can see why he can, like I don't understand how he can triple backflip a motorbike, but if you look at him, you're like, if anyone could,
makes sense. If I know it can be done, it makes sense that he's the guy that could do it.
Yeah, exactly.
What plans have you got for your compound? Like, how far do you want to sort of take it?
Well, I have like 40 acres, so it's like right now I'm built like I got 2 houses on it, and then like all these caravans. I'm currently like converting one of the caravans into like a media room or like whatever I want, like a gaming room like with aircon for summer because it's gonna be super hot. I just bought like a $15,000 trampoline that's like 5 meters by 5 meters.
Wow.
To an airbag, so it's like I can just like kind of practice like aerial awareness and just have fun basically. Like I'll say it's for practice, but it's just for having fun.
Yeah.
And then I got
for tax purposes, it's practice.
Yeah. And then I got obviously got my jump, but there's thing like my jump. So obviously it's just the straight like box jump, but then I actually have another wedge in that ramp, so it's like all air. So like I have 3 sections. At the moment, I only have 2 sections on. So usually I'll just like ride the smaller one. And then if I got bigger tricks to do, like 360 double backy tail whip, that's when I like boost it up to like, I think it's like 6 meters.
Yeah.
But then in my garage, like when I first had it, it came with another 2 meter wedge. So it would be a total 8 meters and like over 45 degrees so that I can do a quarter part. So eventually I'm going to do like the first ever like airbag quarter pipe resi landing, and that's where I'm gonna like learn my X Games quarter tricks.
Yeah, right.
Because I got like the gap, I'm like sort of like I can think of tricks to try there, but then it's like I want to be able to like do the quarter, like bring something new to the quarter. You know, like let's see if I make this. You know, when I made the jump, 50 world first got done by like all these people. What if I build something that really doesn't exist anywhere else?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen then? And that's what I'm like super excited to just see like what's going to go down. And that's like super exciting for me. And that's why I'm like happy to invest the money that I earn into that, because it's like at the end of the day, as long as I document it all, put it on YouTube, it's going to it's all like it filters back.
Yeah.
And it just filters back and provides fun. So it's like free fun.
Yeah. And it's just like you're constantly building, like you're building your skills, you're building like making more money off the content. Like it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
How far away are you from having that thing?
So it's just about making the investment to like build, because obviously I have to build a run in from the other way. So it's just about picking like what I want to do. Do I want to like makeshift some sort of like roll in and not have it so long, or do I just want to like concrete a strip and like that's going to be good enough? I'm not like sure exactly what's going to work. Plus I have to build myself a mini mega quarter, which is 20 foot high and 4 meters wide, which I can do because they made my other ramp that's 13 foot high and 2 meters wide, so like it's possible.
Yeah.
And then I just need a concrete. Like there's heaps of things that go into it. People don't really see it unless I document it a lot, but like there's a lot of people working on it that help me a lot. So like shout out to Concrete Ninja, shout out to like all the people that really help, you know, because when I got there, it was a veggie patch where it was like the jump. It was like a veggie patch. And then it was like a bitumen, like they've just poured hot mix and like pushed it down. And it was like, like you couldn't even, there's no way you could ride down it on a scooter or anything like that. But like a BMX, you'd want a mountain bike to go down it. Basically.
Really?
That's how bad it was.
No shit.
And then literally when I was winning X Games, like the day I was doing X Games, I had my mates back home screeding concrete up a hill.
No way.
And I won, but then I won and I was like, this is for you boys. And then it's a funny thing, the next time I did X Games, they poured the second one and I won again.
Dude, every year you got to pour a slab, bro.
Pour a slab.
Pour a slab and then give a slab to the boys.
I don't even need one. I'm like, just friggin' pour one. I need a win.
Wait, we need a new slab for the caravan.
Yeah.
How did the first X Games on BMX come about? Was it because you were doing the BMX in Nitro as well?
Nah. So I was like, this is a funny story because like for so long, I was like, I knew what I could. I was like, I can do this. Like I can do this, but they wouldn't invite me because I never like rode a mega ramp on BMX. I rode on scooter and made like a video, but like, what is that going to do to get me in a BMX contest?
Yeah,
but
especially like the best one.
Yeah, but I just knew, I was like, I can do it. I know I can go in and I can do well. And I believe like that should be enough, which is wrong. Like now that I look back, I'm like, that's wrong because I realize they're not just like adding me in.
Yeah.
They're actually taking someone else's spot. Like to put me in. So it's like, I realized that and then I'm like, hey, I need to like go out, prove to them that I can do it, you know? And that's where I went to Melbourne and there's a place called the Mega Ranch and they like have this kid has a mega ramp, Kiefer his name is, and he runs X Games now and on a skateboard and I went there and I put down a solid run and like made an edit and then the next time I was in, like, and And I was like, I felt silly, but I knew like 2 years before I could have went and done the exact same thing that I did at the first one.
Yeah.
But I just didn't go out and do it because I was just blind to the reality that I was taking someone's spot. So it wasn't going to be as easy as asking, even though I was making a lot of noise. And I even snuck into X Games. And
really?
Yeah, I even snuck in during practice because they had scooters there. And then I brought my BMX bike and I just walked in with like the guys because I knew some of them. And I was like fully bodysuited up. So they just let me up. And then I just dropped in and did like this 720 fronty over the gap, but I didn't really do anything on the quarter. So I couldn't like prove that I was good on the quarter, but I did like a trick that no one had ever done over the gap.
What? So you snuck in
Legit.
and then did like a world first.
Yeah, legit. I snuck in and did it. And as soon as I landed, I like dipped because I was like, I'm going to get like banned.
No shit. What happened?
If I hurt myself, then like that would have been real bad.
Yeah.
So I just like snuck in and did it, and then no one really said anything.
Did you vlog that shit?
Yeah, it was on film.
That's so good. Anytime anyone's like gives you shit, you're like, dude, I just need content.
No,
man.
yeah, I think that some people at X Games did bring it up, but like they like not in like just laughing way. But
Really?
like I know that.
If you got hurt, that would.
Like I wouldn't go into X Games interview and be like, yeah, I snuck in and did it, because like obviously I don't want people to do that if they like. It was dangerous and silly, but I landed it, so it didn't really matter.
So in the end, it was just dope, is all it really was.
Yeah, but don't do that. Disclaimer.
Kids, don't sneak into X Games. Don't hit the mega ramp.
Don't do it. Trust me, please. That actually sounds really bad. Don't do that.
You just gave away the secret.
Dude, it is actually so gnarly. I was thinking it because obviously I did that flip drop on the last X Games. I don't know if you've seen the run, but like I flip dropped into the top and I was pooping myself because I've never done a flip drop. But the thing is, like, there's no railings on the side. So it's like if I flipped and then like landed
Went off
like,
to the side.
Like I even landed in a manual, and if I went to the side, like
I remember
literally
that.
there's no fence. And that's all I was thinking about, because if you go off the side, you're doing the biggest street gap you've ever done in your life.
To flat, to
Death.
stadium,
Honestly,
to like.
probably death.
Yeah, to
unless
like.
I could hit like some kind of like side and like stop myself from, I don't know.
Which, like, let's not even find that out.
No, not going to happen. But legit, I was like, I'm going to die if I don't stay straight.
So, what's the process in your head of deciding to do that?
It was just like inspired by these guys, Morgan Wade and Michael Laren. They like have been doing tricks in, and like ever since I started, they have like, I think they did like 360 in. Morgan did like a tail whip and then a double tail whip. And then I was like, how am I going to win my third? Because the funny thing is, no one had ever done like 3 consecutive X Games gold medals in BMX Big Air. It was like a curse, but like because like 6 people had done 2, and then I was like, I'm going to be cursed unless I can come up with like some crazy thing to do. And instantly, I'm like, I'm going to flip drop it, because I was like, I reckon I could do it, even though I hadn't done a flip drop on bike. I can do it on scooter pretty easy. And then
You'd never even done it on a bike, bro.
never done it anywhere ever. Just straight.
You're insane.
I've only done it on the mega ramp.
What?
It's risk over reward. Like, it's like I could maybe do it at a skate park, but it's like I'm not winning a gold medal doing it at a skate park. So it's just like,
That is
this is the
hectic.
moment.
Do you know the amount of like belief in yourself that would take? Like, you're either an idiot or you just believe in yourself so much, or a mixture of both of those things.
Mixture.
That just worked out.
No, but I did like calculate. I went to a skate park here in Brisbane. It was like Ramp Attack, and like I was trying it off like a 3-foot drop, and then I was like, this isn't really gonna do
This
much.
isn't the same.
This isn't the same as like 13 foot or whatever it is. So I like put a sub box on, and then I was like, oh, I can get it round. And then I'm like, I was just getting it round, so I'm like, well, when I got 15 feet to fall, I'll be able to like do it. And that's why I kind of like nearly over rotated when I did it, because I pulled like pretty hard because I didn't want to under rotate.
Yes.
So then I'm like, come round, I'm like, oh no, I'm still going. And then I like landed manual, but I have no brakes, you know? So I'm like, what am I going to do? And I like sat down, and then I'm like, cause it's the middle that I'm going towards, but I have to jump the sides because the middle jump is like 15 feet shorter.
Yeah.
So if I hit the middle jump, I would have like gone
You're going long.
way too far.
Yeah.
So I was like landed manual, and then I was like, got to turn, and then I rode up like the side of the ramp, and then threw my trick, got it, and then landed the quarter trick too.
Can you YouTube that for us, Ronan, on the Mac there? I want to watch it. X Games What year was it?
It was like last year, right?
Was
I
it
think
2019?
Yeah, and yeah, it was 2019.
And let's see what we got.
That's
Top one?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Oh, that looks so scary to me.
yeah, that's it. Me
All right.
dancing, music off. Oh no, you can edit that.
wanted to be an X Games athlete.
No, this isn't it. Unless you can like skip into it. Nah, see, it says 2 times. This isn't it.
Oh, yeah.
Go to the medal runs. Go to the up next. Yeah, good old YouTube giving us the up next.
See?
You know?
I told ya.
This is it right here.
Oh,
I said this is for Dave Mirra because the first person I ever seen do flip drop on bike was Dave Mirra. Shout out to the man.
What?
Manual.
Oh.
Look, and then I roll up, see the side of the ramp.
Dude! Oh, no.
And then I'm like, please land this. I was like, please, 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 please.
Oh, that is dirty.
Yeah, and I was like
You were
flipping out.
on the line, bro.
That was so that's gonna show slow mo. So
Just turn the volume down on that, Ronan, on the YouTube thing.
yeah, mute it, bro. There we go. Yeah, you'll see. Look, yank, and I'm like, here I am. I'm like, yep, cool. Open up. Oh no, too much. Sit down, turn. Right up the side. Yeah. And then I just like I've done that trick like 1,000 times. So it's like, oh,
So
thank
that
God.
one you could just go instinct
I mean,
on.
yeah, I have stuffed it up, but
Oh, dude.
But
nah,
yeah.
man.
yeah,
Does Nike pay you?
they should,
Right?
right? But I rep Vans now. Shout out to Vans. Vans are sick.
Yeah, there you go.
But they don't pay me, but I love them. So it's
Yeah, I love Vans as well. That's a dope company. I was in the mosh pit at Warped Tour with Steve Van Doren one time.
Oh yeah, nice. One of the guys,
He
one of
goes
the-
hard.
One of the MCs on tour is like in Vans as well. His name's
really?
Andy Zeiss. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, he did MCing, but he's like full in Vans. I'm not sure exactly his position, but yeah,
Yeah, they're a sick company.
Yeah.
Shout out.
so sick.
That is some bullshit.
Yeah, dude. But I had like legit. There's a guy at Morgan Wade. He did a run like just before, and I'm like, because I was like planning to like slowly go into it, and then this guy Morgan Wade did like a run that was like his dream run, perfect run. I thought it was like the best thing I'd ever seen. He like double whipped in, and then he like 3 flip no handed, and then he did, but he did like a 20 foot like so like probably 6 foot high or 5 foot higher than what I did. Then one handed like double tail whip, and he looked like he's a cowboy. It was so sick. And then I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. And I straight away I was like, I'm doing it. And I'm like, I hadn't done a flip drop. I did jump into the ramp like a few times, so I knew like what speed to do, because that was one thing I was like, am I gonna have too much speed? I can't touch my brakes. Like as soon as I go, that's how fast I'm going. And then yeah, I just was like, this is it. I'm gonna do it. Dave Mirra, he passed away like just recently, so I was like, this is for you, Dave. And then like just sent it, dude, because he did it like on a Dew Tour ramp like ages ago, and that was the first BMX like backy drop that I seen, and I'm like, this is gonna be for him. And like when he did pass, I was like, I'm gonna do this for Dave Mirra, and I was so stoked to get it done for him.
Dude, that is insane. To like, I remember seeing it and be like, that's crazy. But to know that you've never done that,
Yeah.
and then just
Well, it was just, this timing, I was like, this is the opportunity, capitalize on it. And then you just do it.
that's what makes X Games so gnarly. Is like, you think about when Travis and Deegan did those 360s.
Yeah.
That's just as raw as it gets.
Yeah, and it's
like Kerry Hart doing the backflip, like Jesus,
And it's
man.
like, there's so much preparation. And then that's it. Like that night, they have to get it. Like they have to do it. That's their mindset's like, tonight, yep, got it.
Yeah.
And if you're not like got it, then you like don't get it. It's like it's gonna slip through your fingers.
How much, like, when you're prepping for X Game, or when it's really getting close and you're
Yeah.
like in the hotel and you're sort of like dealing with, okay, I need to really go and press send on this deal.
Yeah.
Is it really weighing on your mind a lot?
Yeah, like especially the mega ramp, because it's like,
That quarter pipe just seems so
oh my
sketchy.
God. It's seriously like that's why people are like, oh, when are you gonna build a mega ramp at your land? And I'm like, to be honest, like I don't like ride, like it's scary to ride. Like I wouldn't ride it just on the daily, because it is like it's just a world ender. Like legit, I am so scared. That's why I like look up to guys like Morgan Wade, Michael, because they ride it like in practice they're going 20 feet plus. Like, and I'm like, how are you doing that? Like, how in your right mind are you doing that? But they're just so chill about it that they just like believe in themselves so much, and they're like, it's so much practice and just awareness of how to ride the ramp that they can just do that. But I like have not reached that point. No way. When I'm going down, that's why you see me losing my mind after rolling away, because I am literally like, got that feeling, you know?
You're glad to be alive.
I got that big drop feeling.
Yeah.
3 times I got the big drop in like one run. So I'm like,
Dude, right?
I'm like exploding in my brain. I think I had about a quarter of an orgasm. Like, well, 3/4, because every one I landed, I had like a quarter of one.
How do you feel right now, Willie? That was 3/8 orgasm right there, boys and girls.
Legit though, that's why I actually seen comments. People are like, is he on drugs? Like, because
Just play his reaction. I go watch it now.
I go so crazy, but like, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand.
Go back a bit.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
You don't understand like the emotions that are going through my mind. Like, there's literally I literally thought I could die if I turned off. Like, I could die, and then it's like the gap's not too bad. You can like kind of stuff that up, but if you turn off, you die. And if I backflip and I don't go the right way, I die. So it's like,
you're like, I did it. It worked.
that's because it was the first time I ever did it. So I was like, I was as surprised as everyone else.
That's such just a heavy thing to like have to face that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to pause that for us, bro?
This is Morgan, but yeah.
Oh, is it? Play that?
Dude, actually play it. This is the run that went before me. I know it's playing after, but this is actually before my run because this has got second. Watch this.
Wow.
Bro, cowboy on a BMX bike. So sick.
Yeah, just the commitment, man. Like, and even like, I get so nervous when I've woken up before nationals for jiu-jitsu last year. I woke up like in sweat, panic, and I had to be like, dude, what do you go to sleep? Seriously, this is ridiculous. There is nothing on the line here.
No, dude.
Like, imagine that shit.
I get so nervous, dude. So nervous. Especially like for my first one, super nervous. And then I actually I stuffed up my first one. I fractured my spine in the first practice of X Games because you doing the quarter, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna boost it. I was listening to Slayer Raining Blood, dude, in practice. Bad decision, because I'm like, I'm just gonna fly, and then here I go fly, and then I fly out to flat, and then like landed and like compressed my back, and I'm like, oh gosh, like something's wrong. I thought I exploded my butthole, but yeah, I got an X-ray from the people, like, because the USA, like the football things, they have like X-rays in there, but it wasn't that good. So they're like, oh, we can't really see anything. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And then I like had a salt baths like 4 nights in a row because I did it at the first practice. And I got physio every day, and I'm like, my back's still screwed. But this is my first ever X Games that I've been invited to. So I'm like, there is no way I'm not riding, no matter how sore I was. And then I went in the comp, and like, I tried to do that trick that I landed the front flare on the quarter. And like, I just kept landing really low and like blowing off. So my first X Games, I like only landed like 1 run. And I'm like devastated, obviously. But then the next X Games was at Australia. And then, I managed to like stomp the run and got it. But
dude, I was actually there for that. I saw you in that one.
Yeah, right. But I'm going back. When I got home from Australia after the flight, I'm like, man, my back. There's something wrong with my back. And then I went I got an X-ray, and I'd fractured my spine.
Dude, are you serious?
I was like, he showed me the X-ray.
Double check it.
I showed my X-ray, and it was like obviously not like super bad, but like I chipped the like side of one of my vertebrae. I think because I like crunched my spine so hard. But yeah. But I still would, even if I knew, I still would have rode.
Yeah, I was going to say, it probably didn't really matter.
It was literally my dream to just ride in X Games. And then like I kind of like figured out the front flare, which is the trick I do on the quarter. And then, just like put it all together, and then stoked.
That's heavy. What other sports are you taking inspiration from? Because like, you know, the Rampage dudes do like sick drops where they do the backflip drops and like 360 drops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are you looking at all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I think in the back of my mind, I probably would have thought about that, but I was really, when I did the flip drop, I was just thinking about like Mirror, but then those Rampage dudes, dude, they do like so much gnarlier. Like their drops like 3 times or like double, at least double for sure. But like, if I wouldn't, you would not see me doing anything like Rampage, because that's like That's next level. That's
Yeah.
like a dirt. That's like riding a mega ramp out of dirt. And then they have to like jump it like 5 times like down the hill. That's so gnarly to me. But yeah, I definitely get like inspiration from every action sport.
Yeah.
I'm honestly like a super nerd for action sports.
Yeah, I think that's got to be such a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like anyone that is really good is like a super fan of a bunch of different stuff, right?
Everything. Like I'll watch snowboarding, I'll watch skiing, like every single X Games sport, I'll watch it. And then like just anything, like any sport, I'll just watch it. Like I love just seeing people like progress and like doing new things that have never been done before and like putting in that effort and then landing it. Like, cause I know that feeling, I know the journey, and like even just seeing my friends do that journey and then land something, I almost like live it with them.
Yeah. Well, because you know the feeling so well, I guess.
Yeah, and you almost like can kind of think about what they're feeling.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I feel like gymnastics as well would be pretty gnarly to look at for you for some of like the scooter stuff that you do. And then is it easy? Like, is the going from like scooter to BMX, is that almost like a little bit of like a gateway to making that bigger stuff happen? Like, is that kind of a bit of like a little secret of success in a way?
Yeah, I would say that it helps a lot. But there's tricks I can do on bike that I can't do on scooter. I've never done a triple front flip on a scooter. I've only done a triple front flip on a bike, which sounds like weird because surely a scooter should be easier to triple front flip, which it might be, but I've just never managed to like unlock that. And then someone did it, so I didn't like feel the passion to like go and do it. Because I really do. Like for me, like I get a big passion out of like doing tricks that haven't been done before, or I think haven't been done before, just because, you know, it's like an extra drive. You know that if you roll away from that, you're like pushing the sport that little bit more. And that's one thing that I noticed when I was growing up scootering. Like obviously I was riding that second wave of the scooter riding. So I was doing like a lot of tricks that every kid can do now. Like so many kids can do like a 540 flare, which is like where you come up, you do one backflip and do 1.5 twist and then come back down the ramp. And like I did the world's first of that like 8 years ago or more. But now like 100, 200 kids can do it in the world. And then it's like so cool because it's not like it was any hard, like it's still just as hard.
Yeah.
You know? But because that's opened up in their mind, they can just do it now. And I love that because it's like, now I feel like if I can push as hard as I can push, that's going to like pave the way and just bring it to that next level so much easier for the people coming up.
Yeah, there is a thing that happens in your brain when you know something's possible. Like the 4-minute mile, it took forever for somebody to run a sub 4-minute mile.
Yeah.
And then as soon as somebody did it, I think I read it in the Phil Knight's book, the dude that started Nike.
Yeah.
There was like 12 or 16 people within 2 months.
Yeah.
So people had been trying for ever, literally ever. It had never been done. And then one dude comes along and does the 4-minute mile. And then it's just like, it opens up the floodgates.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And it's like with moto, it's like the backflip. It's like, if you really think about it, I don't know how long ago, but maybe like what?
2000, I think it was.
Yeah, so
I think
like
it was 20 years ago.
20 years. Like even say just 20 years, people have done 3 backflips in one air.
Yeah. Harry, dude, the crazy one is Harry doing the rock solid backflip. Like him and Tucker.
Yeah, and he does it
that
in a
thing,
front flip
too,
though.
Yeah, oh, I forgot about that. That is so insane. That's one of the ones that like should be impossible. It sort of doesn't make sense.
It trips you out, hey. I get it because I don't, but not the back flip one. But because I've seen someone do it on BMX. But I get the front flip one. But I get like the physics doesn't seem right because you're like obviously you're flipping, you're pushing the bike away, you're letting go of the bike. But why is the bike not going away? And it's weird. I don't know what it is. Maybe you need some sensors hooked up just to see the motion, the velocity of like what's happening. Yeah. But I think it's because you and the bike are in motion at the same time. You're both carrying the same velocity. Yeah. So when you let go, the bike stays on the same trajectory for a little bit. As long as you pull it the right way. Like you could...
Yeah, you could pull it and like mess with the axis of the bike.
If you don't like pull it in a little bit, the force is going to shoot it away. So there's like a few things that you have to like...
That's like when you're in a car going 100 miles an hour, your body's going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, probably. I would say so.
100%.
Unless you're jumping into the back seat or something.
Science.
Yeah.
What other sports are you into outside of this? And like, how long you been into like the UFC stuff, or are you just into that because you and Dana are homies?
No, I've literally been into UFC for so long. Like not since like UFC 1.
Yeah.
But like, I can't remember exactly the first fight, but way back, like before McGregor won, like Aldo and stuff, like before that. So I think it was when McGregor like was fighting some like bald white guy. And he, like,
Dennis Seaver?
Yeah, that's it, Dennis Seaver. So that was like, I think that was around when I started watching it, and then like from then I've just been like buying every pay-per-view.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's so sick. Like to actually go there is gnarly.
Yeah, I've never been to one.
I'm like, you have to go.
Yeah.
It's like one of the coolest things. Like, I mean, it's just crazy in like when you watch it behind the TV, like, oh yeah, whoa, he just kicked him in the head.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're in person and you see someone's like, they get kicked, you're like, how are they, like, even if it's a light kick, you're like, how is this person still like,
still going. Yeah.
It's like you see how much actual violence it is when you're there. And it's like crazy. You like respect it so much more when you know like this is what's actually happening. And like anytime they could just get knocked out. It's a wild, wild sport.
And then they're doing that shit training.
Yeah. And the people are so like people that do the UFC as well are so nice. Like I have a few guys like I follow and talk to, and they're like, everyone's so down. Like even with they like action sports. I think there's a weird like gel that action sports and like ultimate fighting martial arts have. I think that it's kind of like they're both like that, like you're walking with danger kind of.
Yeah.
So I think that like, I don't know. I think that it, like
there's like a
well.
thing that you have to put out of your mind to do it.
Yeah.
Like you have to put out of the mind that, oh yeah, I'm going to hit this mega ramp, could die.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm still going to do it anyway. And I think that fighters have that same thing.
Yeah.
They're like, I could get just completely bashed, but it's all right, I'll still do it. So there's there's this weird compartmentalization in like action sport and fighters' brains where it's just like, let's take that, let's just put it over there, and let's just not think about that, and let's just get the job done.
You're just like trying to get so good that you don't get beaten by whatever it is you're doing. It's like a fighter's like training so they don't get hurt, and we are training so we don't get hurt as well. And you're just trying to always get better, but without getting hurt at the same time.
Yeah, it's like that's like the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
It's just like the fact that you get hurt constantly.
Yeah.
What was the fight that you watched live? Was it Robert Whittaker?
Yeah, and I sat next to his family too.
Oh, really? What fight was it against Izzy?
Yeah, against Izzy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, and then what was the first one I went to? Whittaker couldn't fight. What was it? Yeah. Well, the first ever one I went to was not the first. Yeah, no, the first ever one was Whittaker was supposed to fight
Romero.
Yeah.
And then he didn't make weight.
That was it.
Or did he not make weight, or did he get sick, or like what was the deal?
Something happened. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember that being the first one. But I was like so stoked to be there, just because I was like front row. And then the next one was like in Chicago, and it was like Marlon Moraes versus Henry Cejudo.
Oh, that's a good one to watch.
And it was so good. Like, because you're like, oh, Marlon Moraes was like doing well first round, and then Henry Cejudo just like monstered him somehow. It's like, it's so Henry Cejudo. He's just like
he's
so cringe, dude. But he's just like so rad that he's just puts like his talent is just through the roof.
Do you get into like the whole scene as well, not just like the fights themselves?
No, I'm all in. Like I love UFC.
So who's like your favorite guys?
Oh man, you know what? Like for a while, I was like I was like, oh, Robert's probably gonna beat Izzy, you know. And then you're like, oh, he's gonna get beat by old mate Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
Nah, y'all remember? Nah. So Izzy's definitely like just kicking ass, and I'll like even him fighting John Jones. I'm like, I love John Jones, so I'm like, oh damn, I hope John Jones can just do it. But then I'm like, every single time I go against Izzy, he just is just insane.
Yeah, that's true. The thing with like, so I said to my buddy, and like he's almost a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so like he knows the fight game.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the Jones and Izzy thing, and I was like, all right, if you have a wrestling match between Israel Adesanya and Daniel Cormier, does Daniel Cormier take down Izzy?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I think so. I think that
he's like an Olympian.
But then it's like, why didn't Daniel Cormier like take down Moric? Yeah, like what's his name?
Oh, Miocic. Yeah, true. But like, I just think, the Izzy with the size thing is just going to be so different. Like, because so John Jones took down DC.
Yeah.
Like constantly.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I just think of it in terms of like, man, if it was Izzy in there with Cormier, I'm probably betting that Cormier would take him down.
Yeah, yeah.
So then if Jones took down Cormier, then he's probably could take down Izzy. But that's like,
have you seen Jones at the skate park?
No.
I hit him up because I was like so impressed because he was like skating with Steve-O
What?
at the skate park, dude. Legit,
on the
dropping
skateboard?
in on a skateboard, like on a bank. But I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, because he rides mountain bikes a lot too, and he follows me on that. So
What?
I'm down with John Jones. He's a mad dog.
Who's the craziest person that follows you on Instagram?
Like Steve-O or Dana White, probably.
Steve-O.
Steve-O is like the man. He's so cool.
Yeah, have you met him?
Theo's mad too. Theo Vaughn, sorry. Yeah, Steve I met. He actually came to a Nitro Circus show, and like it was so sick to meet him because he like had posted like one of my videos, and then he like hit me up, and then I was like, oh, come to the show, and then he came, and then I was like, yo, Steve-O, and he was like super stoked, like, and he like kissed me on the cheek. I was like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? And it was like just such a sick moment.
Yeah, far out, dude. It must be so weird to like
So trippy, man.
have that stuff happen.
Yeah.
Just like, and that's normal.
But it doesn't get normal. Like I'm so stoked. Like I'm still just like the kid that just loves, absolutely like adores all these people. And then just for the fact that it can bring like scootering, BMX has brought me into situations where I can like experience this. It just like makes all like the grinding, and like that's why I like try to put so much back into action sports is because like literally action sports, scootering, BMX has given me like my whole life. Like, and now I feel like I just want to give like my life back to action sports. And that's why I just keep pushing and like just giving back to obviously people coming up, because you know, maybe they'll have the same kind of experiences. Maybe they'll grow action sports even bigger for the next generation.
Yeah.
And I'm like just hoping that it stays alive.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know that it would go away.
Yeah.
But I just think, yeah, like the kind of attitude that you have, and there's probably not enough guys like you that are in it in a way. Like, I don't know that there's as many guys that are as committed to giving back in the same way that you are.
Yeah, I think there is a few, and I think that there is a lot of people that definitely like they love action sports, and there's a lot of people that do. But maybe because I'm pretty good on like the social media, so I like do push it out well, and people do see it, that maybe that's why you like perceive that maybe I'm like one of the main guys doing it, but when I'm actually just like one of the guys out of many that are doing it. But maybe you see it more because obviously I'm close to you too. I'm in Australia. You would see me like a lot more coming up on social media maybe. So maybe that's why like you see that more. But there is, because I know a lot of people that even do like a lot more work than I'm doing. And I've only just really started to like really buckle down and do that kind of stuff, because I'm just like, I see how much it helps, and like I love doing it. Yeah. Because I get a great feeling from doing it. So that's why like I've only been doing the Friday ride days like 4 weeks now, I think. 3 or 4 weeks in a row. But I'm not going to stop. But yeah, it's just been great to do that. But obviously before that, I still do the YouTube, still trying to like always trying to send a positive message, because like action sports is positive, and it brings positive to people's lives. So it's like, I'm just trying to bring that, what I got, to other people, because why not? It's not hurting anybody. Yeah. So it's like only good for everyone. It's only good for action sports. If you can get more people riding action sports and loving action sports, it's going to help everyone. No matter if it's you getting people to ride a scooter, like the more people that ride a scooter, the more Ryan Williams you might get, you know, like the Ryan Williams from scootering, like coming to BMX, or even like scooter kids going to skateboarding, anything. More scooter kids, more skate parks, more skateboarders. Yeah. Like push everyone, like everyone comes up together. Yeah. That's the way to make it right. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, dude, totally agree. Yeah. What is the future for you? Like, what do you see? Like, if you're going to look at, your career and it just to keep going, like the different levels, like what's some of the stuff that you like want to achieve that you haven't achieved yet? Yeah. Not even in terms of like results, you know, just like in general, like what would you like to leave?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like stoked with like obviously X Games, keep doing X Games. I love to push the limits and just like see what I can bring to the X Games like playing field. Cause obviously I've done 4 competitions and I've managed to do like 3 really good competitions. So it's like, why? I'll just keep going. Like, what can I do to evolve that discipline? Obviously, like there's other disciplines that maybe I could go into if I can get good at riding dirt. Maybe I can get into dirt. I'll probably stay away from park because Logan Martin's just an animal. So is Brandon Lupo.
They've got that covered.
We'll leave that to them because they are ridiculous.
They're Olympians and shit.
Exactly. We'll keep the gold. They can have their Olympic gold medals and I'll just have my following in a few X Games gold medals. But I think just maybe do more stuff in the community because I like doing that. Like there's a few things that I've been like, just recently I went to a skate park called Alley and it's just a new indoor skate park on the Sunshine Coast, and they built like it's called Skate Aid, and it's like it was so cool. Like that's why I'm talking about it. It's like a special like cage thing with wheels, right? And then it's got hooks so you can have a person with disability and they can fully sit, like they can sit and skate. So it was a skateboard, and I'm like, dude, he was like, I have a spare one. I'm like, dude, you got to make like a scooter and a BMX. And just like knowing that you could bring action sports to maybe someone that never would have thought they could even do anything because of their disability. Now that opens up that realm for them to maybe have that, like get that feeling. I was
going to say, they get
everyone
that same
else gets.
feeling,
You know that feeling that we get when we ride action sports, the big drop.
Yeah.
They get that feeling, like, and that's something that I seen that, and that was like immediately I'm like, that's something close to my heart because that is so cool and that's so important to me because if I can help them feel that feeling, I think that can really, you know, change someone's like perspective on life even because it changed mine. Like, and it put me in the right path to here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that's sick. But other than that, just RWilly Land, like keep doing that. Maybe hold like some cool competitions or just have like people out that can progress themselves in doing that, progress action sports, get people more stoked, and just keep doing my YouTube because that like obviously stokes people out and gets them riding as well. So it's just all about that, and then enjoying it too, my personal life, enjoying my personal life, and just keep doing what I'm doing because I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's so good, dude. What the YouTube stuff, are you like, is that something what you try and step up in terms of like production value and you got like full-time filmers and like are you gonna step it up in that sense as well, or is that sort of like a whole different deal that you're not gonna?
No, I'm 100%. I actually just got a filmer. We just filmed a video today. His name's Arnie, so he just took over. He's made about 4 of my videos, and like it's been. He's like obviously he's not very well known either. It's like he's coming up as well. So it's like obviously I already have the YouTube channel. It's doing pretty well, but his production value is like good. But he's just starting out, so he's like super hyped, and that's what I was like really looking for was someone that wants to just grow with the channel. And he's like obviously killing it already because my videos are like, I was for some reason like I was in like this low point. I think it was because I was doing all the work myself, 1 video a week maybe, like sometimes not even. Yeah, you know. And then like the kids, they don't roll with that. Like they do love it. Like there was a few that like would still watch, love it, but it's like it's better to just, you know, give them something. Like they're giving me so much. Obviously, I'm making like that's my main revenue now from like because I can't travel, do Nitro Circus. Other than sponsors, it's like YouTube is like the income. So it's like they're allowing me to still build RWilly Land, like invest back into them, and that's kind of like what I've done, and it's been awesome. Like my views are going way up, and my channel's actually doing really well right now. So that's why I'm like just concentrating a lot on that.
So you've been doing a lot of that work yourself for like the longest.
All of it.
Really?
Yeah, for 3 years, all of it.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, all the edit. I've edited everything. So I'll ride. We'll film video 4 or 5 hours, and then I'll edit for 4 or 5 hours.
Dude.
And I've done like probably at least a video a week, like for nearly a year. I mean, 3 years.
just bang out world first trick and then gonna go, hey, film me do this world first trick for hours and then
not even having film. Like I would just get my mates. Like, and that's not weird for me. Like I'm just used to that, and they do a good job. Like my mates do a good job at like filming, and they're in the footage. Sometimes I'm filming them, and it's good because hopefully, you know, as my channel grows and we're getting more videos, like they get more exposure, and then hopefully that opens up avenues for them. You know, because they're in the limelight as well. And I realize that like it's cool to have other characters because maybe someone's gonna feel more of a bond with like my other mates. My mate Gecko, he's like trying tricks all the time and he's not always landing them, you know, but he's trying his best and he's funny, you know, and maybe someone's gonna bond with like see more of an interaction with Gecko, and that's gonna inspire him more than maybe I could because here I am like whipping
being
about
like
just
super rad, just constantly
trying to like land tricks, even though I don't always, but maybe they just interact more with Gecko, and that's just another cool bond that is created from my YouTube channel. Dude,
the amount of effort you must have put into your YouTube channel is psycho, bro.
Yeah, it was hard, but it's like it pays off, and like you see how much it means. It's like even though it's 4 or 5 hours of editing, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I can edit quicker. But I'm like, I want it good. You know, when you're editing it yourself, you really want to like, you know what you want and you can do it. So you put in the time to do it. But and like the hardest thing was like, I'd put in 6 hours into a video and I thought it was the best, man. I edited it. I thought it was the best. And I put it out and it would just sink. And I'm like, I'm like, what am I doing? And then I would make a video. Like my highest view video is like 10 million views, and it was like the day that Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather. We had a show, and I was like, we just had a Nitro show, and I like randomly filmed it. it.
Can we find it?
It's Toy Car versus Mega Rant. It's my highest one might be like this swing one, but obviously the swing one's like gonna pop off because the thumbnail's gnarly.
Wait, don't copyright strike me, bro. Okay.
No, I won't. If you just go to RWilly and then go top things, and you could read through them and I could tell you. Like,
yeah. Sick.
So just click on my channel.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, let's watch this one first.
Okay, yeah. No, I won't copyright strike you, mate.
And then...
Dude, it was a cool... Like, obviously, that's gnarly, right? But the thing is, it's like, I have 15, 20 other videos like this.
Yeah, but this one just...
Yeah, this one just popped off. Just randomly. I'm doing like the Conor McGregor walk. Like it wasn't even, I was just being an idiot too. It's always the ones where you just look, I'm like,
there's the beard too, eh? Bring it back, bro.
Nah, it grows better than that now.
Come on, let's get it. I just
go to the pool, man. Why is everyone watching this? YouTube. The algorithm's like crazy, but it's picking up now. So love you, YouTube. But yeah, it's not much.
That algorithm's a real son of a.
Look, I didn't even plug my mic in properly. It's like all stuff. You know, that's what it is. You randomly make these videos and they might not even be like your favorite ones. They just pop off. You make the one that is your favorite. Nah.
Dude,
we don't want it.
My best video on YouTube is I just clickbaited the shit out of my podcast with Travis. And I just went, the title, wait, fast forward to the thing. I want to see the actual...
The toy car?
Yeah, I want to see that.
Oh, you're one of those. You're going to just skip my video to the toy car.
Is this ruining your analytics?
If you went in the comments, there's probably 50 comments telling you where to go to.
That's so, yeah. Toy car at 2 minutes 13.
Legit. Like, I get it. It's all right. It's got 10 million views. You can go straight to it. I don't need more views.
That is the man right there.
Yeah, Dusty.
I'll
tell you when yeah, this is around it. Sorry. Yep. Go.
Dusty is the man.
Yeah, he literally is.
He's the coolest guy ever. Anyone that can marry Tara Geiger.
Oh, that's right. He's the man for that.
No, I don't even mean that. I mean in like the sense of any man that is man enough to be around her. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like she's so good at everything. Yeah.
But he nearly died here. Look at this. Ready? He like goes off the side.
Oh no, dude.
Dude, so many things, so much crazy things just happen. Shout out to Nitro, like give me the show tape, Mad Dogs.
That is, they'll probably copyright strike me actually. No, that is so gnarly, dude.
It's actually Dusty that does the toy car. It was actually before this though, I think. Maybe, unless the toy car's up there, wait. He's so funny. Listen to him talk. He's just the Matt. Like Dusty's just such an awesome soul as well. Like the way. Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's got it up there. But yeah, he's just the nicest guy. Like the 100%. Nicest guy. would never do anything like wrong towards anyone.
Yeah, he when we were doing that.
I think he's wearing my helmet. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
with my GoPro.
it's got the sticker on there. And
He's
everything.
got my GoPro and my helmet on. I probably forced him to wear it. Look at this, ready?
Oh my god.
To be fair, like, but we do this every show, and that's why I just picked a new contraption to like thumbnail,
Yeah, right.
and then it just popped off.
It is crazy how it works, man. Like, yeah, that video that I did was Brian Deegan was the real sellout, and I went through like, and it's like literally a direct quote, like,
Yeah.
because he's like, Brian Deegan was a real sellout. He was
Oh
actually
my
the nicest guy.
Yeah.
So like, it's literally a direct quote from the clip.
Damn.
But when you put it on that, and like, dude, it blew. I got like 500,000 views
No way.
in like a couple days, and but I found like the only video of Travis with like not a smile, the only photo of Travis without a smile on his face.
Yeah, sweet. Look at this. He covers his eyes. Oh, it just froze. That's right. Oh no. Oh, there was a soundbite I put in.
Oi.
But on the other end of the spectrum, I have a video that I took 6 years to film, and it was my web edit 3. It's like,
So what do we search for that?
don't play the music though. It has a wolf mother.
Oh, okay.
I paid like $5,000 for the rights, and then they still copyrighted me.
Really? Just mute it.
Thank you. Yeah, I would definitely mute it before you play it. What is it? Ryan Williams web edit 3.
Web edit 3. Dope.
No, it's actually became like a thing because my first web edit, like I spent like a year and it came out and everyone was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" So it became like a its own thing. And then I did web edit 2, and it was like, make sure you mute it.
Just mute it. Yeah, we'll get.
Yeah.
Is it muted?
I can hear it.
Mute it on the screen there.
What was it? Oh, you'll be able to cut this out anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
I would.
We good. We good.
Yeah. So there was web edit 1, web edit 2. I filmed for like maybe 2 years, 3 years, and then this one I was like, I'm going all out. 5 years. Or 6
Oh,
years,
dude,
6
I
years.
remember. I remember
this
that.
thing, this is like, so I accumulated like just nearly all world first tricks, like in tricks that were just like the gnarliest thing I've done. And then I got my best mate to like edit, and he's like an editor for Russell Crowe now. Shout out to Nick Air Films.
What?
Legit. Yeah.
What does he edit for Russell Crowe?
I don't know. He's just a part of the thing. Yeah, but.
I just watched this the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my probably the best edit I've ever made. But
Get the ass down.
but in saying that, like it's like I think it's like 2.5 million
Yeah,
views.
2.6. I just
But
saw.
I've met like my first ones that are like terrible. It's like when I'm not terrible, but I'm like 16 years old. Like I'm nowhere near as good as this. Like 4 million, like, you know. And then Toy Car vs Mega Ramp, 10 million. And then it's like all this effort. But I'm not complaining because 2.5 million is I'm stoked on. And people are still going to watch it. And it's my body of work. And I'm really happy with it. So it's like, at the end of the day, that's what I've understood about YouTube. Just be happy that you can come back at the end, like later on in life, and you can watch something that is going to bring back memories. And that's how you really go into YouTube and succeed, is because then you just make videos to enjoy them.
Well, you're a genuine creator.
Yeah, exactly. And then it doesn't matter if it flops. Like, obviously videos are going to flop no matter what you think you're doing right or wrong. It's going to flop for some reason or other sometimes.
Well, dude, you got to think about like Rogan too.
Yeah.
Like I've been listening to Rogan since probably like 2012 or 2013.
Yeah.
And like his videos then, if you'd go on YouTube, and like it was in that first studio that he did, and it was like recliners, and it was like crazy unprofessional, and it wasn't getting a bunch of views. But because all those views are on his channel, like I just went back and watched
gone up now.
the one with Sam Harris,
Yeah.
and it was like 143.
Yeah.
And it's got
Insane.
bulk views. So it's
Yeah.
like you can't get disheartened as a creator that right now your shit's not
100%.
popping off.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what can happen. Like look at what happened to Rogan. He's literally gets millions and millions and millions now.
Yeah.
And his whole back catalog is getting crazy amounts of downloads.
Yeah.
So like if the views can't be your only metric
Yeah, 100%.
for success.
And like, if you just go into it and you're just doing it like for the sake of being able to watch it back, like just do it for being able to relive memories even.
Yeah.
And then no matter how many views it gets, you're still going to be stoked.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it more often because you're just not worried about how it's going to go. And like it does bring you down when you like put a lot of effort into something and it goes bad. So I don't know. I've learnt to just live with whatever however it goes. Sick.
Well, there's this. I don't know what the exact saying is, but there's a saying where it's like once you release your art, the world owns your art. Like you don't own it anymore. Like once you create something and you put it out into the world, it's the world's. It's not yours.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you can't
control what the world does with it.
Yeah, you can't control what the world thinks about. It's like you've just got to be like, I made art.
Yeah.
Do with it what you will.
100%.
You know, and like if you can genuinely do that, then you know it can make the whole process a lot easier. That one of the comments I get a bunch of times is people like, "How is this channel not bigger?"
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, share it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I can't
100%.
tell. Like all I'm doing is having a chat.
Yeah.
And putting it on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
If people like it, they like it. If they don't want to watch it, they don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
If you think more people should watch it, share it.
Share it. Yeah.
That's it.
Show it around.
What was I gonna? Did you notice the you know when they said the whole like adpocalypse thing with YouTube?
Yeah.
Did you notice a big drop in money?
Jeez, it was like a while. There
was a while ago.
Wasn't there a few though? There was like there was like one, and then there was another one, right? I think I wasn't even like really into it when the first one happened, and that was like from PewDiePie or whatever. Is that the one? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. So that one I like.
There's one more recently.
Yeah, I think the recent one I actually noticed that. Yeah, the ads were like weird, but I felt like I was still getting the same like ad sent. Like I was still randomly getting the same. I don't know if it's like maybe because of your podcast, maybe if you say certain words. It's I always like I try to make it kid friendly because I have a lot of people that comment and say like, "Thank you for making this kid friendly." And like when I'm filming, I don't really think about that too much, but when I'm editing, I'll like bleep words.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna cut all the swearing out of this just because I know you got a young audience.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like,
Yeah,
and I don't mind if that because I've sworn some of my videos, but people like timestamp it because they're so used to me getting rid of it that they'll like. So it's like it's become a thing where I am conscious of it, and like maybe I don't know, maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, no, it helps. Like I definitely. Like, I mean, I had that Renee Gracie chick on. She's like the OnlyFans chick.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that episode was just got age restricted, like everything.
Yeah.
And like, not that my stuff on YouTube doesn't get like crazy views.
How long have you been doing it?
The podcast I've been doing for like 3 years almost.
Yeah, sick.
But like, I didn't do YouTube very seriously for a while. Like, it's so much work.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm talking to you.
Nah,
you know.
I get it.
But like it was just between like getting guests and then like building this studio and it's just 100%. It's just such a process. But now like that's what Ronan's like main deal is to be like pumping it with.
Dude, even now I've noticed because I got Arnie, like I almost like feel so much freer and I'm better in videos.
Yeah.
And people like are really liking the videos because they can tell that I'm like super chill. I'm like just myself, so much more myself because I'm not in control of the camera and everything. So I'm not really thinking about it as I'm doing it. Because when I'm filming myself, you're thinking about how you're going to put it together, how it's all going to work. And like, it's cool because you know how it's going to turn out. But you also don't realize that you're actually subconsciously always thinking about it and you're not really being your exact self. Yeah,
dude. No, you're so right. And I struggled to, like, I've got in my mind what I think I can achieve in a week.
Yeah.
And then the week comes and then, you know, something happens, you miss this and that. And then you don't end up producing the amount of content that you wanted to. And then you're like, I'm not taking on any new guests next week. It's just... It's a hard thing to find like a real good balance of like productivity and then playing the game too. Like that's one of the hard things on YouTube. Like my main audience on YouTube is like if I post moto stuff, goes nuts.
Yeah.
But if I posted something about like jiu-jitsu stuff, 400 views.
Okay,
and then it just dips your channel.
Yeah.
And then you get something that gets 50 and then the next video gets like 400.
Yeah.
And then it like, and even, I don't know too about because some podcasts do like separate clips channels just so that it's like short videos but then like Adam 22 on No Jumper, he's only got the No Jumper channel and the Adam 22 channel, but No Jumper has all the long ones and the short ones.
Oh, okay,
so like he Yeah, it's such a tough game to figure out.
Because if you start, mate, you have a clips channel.
No.
Yeah, see, so it's hard because like then you got to start from nothing.
Yeah.
And you're like, is it gonna be the same, or is like, because you're I bet you have like, because you're a podcast, you're gonna have the people that just they just come back and watch. Like you have that like always always the same subscribers that come and watch.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas like a clips can like pick up other people. Like my channel can pick up like I don't even have, most of mine actually aren't subscribers.
Yeah.
70%, I think it's like 70% of mine aren't actually subscribers.
I'm the same. It's like 80%, I think.
Yeah. So, but like, it's weird because like, obviously I'll have a picture of me jumping off a bridge. I got a thumbnail and it's like, whoa. Whereas like, it's like, I don't know. It's like hard. It'd be so hard to like get the clips cranking. If people haven't seen lots of your channel.
Yeah. It's just like
a grind.
Yeah. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's just such a tough gig. But man, I just did not know that you did that all yourself for that long.
Yeah. Nah, this is the last, I've only done 4 videos with him so far. So the rest is all me. Except for like, this video I got professionally made.
Yeah.
Like, big ones. But I'd say about 95% of my videos on my channel I made.
Yeah, dude, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's hard. But if you film, the thing is, if you can streamline your productivity, like if you can streamline all the work, you film how you know how it's going to come together. You're a producer in your own mind when you're filming.
Yeah.
And you know how it's going to come together. You know if you're going to add some meme, something funny, you know? And then what you do is you film to like really like, so you don't need lots of production after, like, post, you don't need lots of posts. So what I'll do is I'll film so that I don't need a lot of posts.
Yeah, you ain't wasting it.
You know, like if I stuff up a clip, I'll most likely refilm it. Sometimes I won't. But like that makes it easier because I know that clip goes there, done, next clip, you know? And then you streamline it and then you're getting it down to like 2 or 3 hours editing and it's not as bad.
But man,
then it's like, then you're like, but you're done and then you're like, thumbnail.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I didn't shoot a thumbnail.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, the amount of videos I haven't posted because I just have not done a thumbnail. I was just like, oh man, I just don't know what. And like, especially with like podcasts, it's kind of hard, you know. It's like just people in a studio. You just gotta like go through and it's like, oh, he did something cool just now.
Yeah.
But there's like, what can you do?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, man, I've really enjoyed talking to you, dude.
Yeah, sick. How long did I go for? I'm stoked.
What time is it?
It's 11 nearly.
11. That's 3 hours. How long to go for, Ryan? 2 hours 48.
Let's go.
How was your first podcast experience, mate?
It was fun. I really liked it. I really liked that you like did bring me back to some things that I didn't really think about. And then like, it's cool to be able to talk to people. I just hope that people see that like, even though like I'm this crazy scooter rider, like everyone, like I came from where people like maybe someone that's watching, I was literally like that kid and you can do it. Like that's all I want people to know. And I always tell people that you just got to believe in yourself. And even when you going as hard as you can, sometimes it might not work, but like just keep at it. And there's always a light at the tunnel. Like I was riding my scooter for probably 2 years before I even knew like what a bar spin was. So put that in perspective for you. And like, just know that even if you're 2 years in and you're still having trouble, just keep having fun. You might find that thing and you'll just ride it. You got it. Ride the wave, baby.
Well, man, honestly, like you're such a good ambassador for what like the positivity that action sports can bring into a person's life, the opportunities that it can give you, and it's one of the things I really want to try and just touch on, like the multiple things you've had to do. Like you're a business owner, you're a property developer, you're a world traveler, you know what I mean? Like you've overcome fear, you've done so much, like overcome like the bullying and all this stuff that you've been able to overcome, and you've done it all within the action sports arena and the skills that you learned at the skate park, not only on your BMX bike or on your scooter, but like the life skills, like the life lessons, the failures, the, you know, like the rejection and the hard times, and then the friendship, like everything that you've got was created in this action sports arena, and that's available to any kid that wants to buy a scooter, or any kid that your parents can get you a BMX bike. And I think it's something that
even if you have friends that like, even if you don't have anything, like even if your friend has a scooter, like I'm sure go down the park and just feel it out. Maybe it's not the right thing for you. Maybe you want to do something else, but like it's a good avenue to just test. And it can only, if you really like it, do it, and it can just bring like a little bit of happiness in your life, a little bit of a getaway. And even if anything, even if it's not a career, it's a really good way to just separate yourself from the real world and just live for a part-time in this world where you don't think about anything else. You just think about, oh, what trick am I going to do? And it's a great release for anyone even that just wants to do it for fun.
Perfect, brother. Well, you are welcome in this studio anytime that you want to come back, bro.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
Let's and also shout out to Sammy from Fist
Yeah.
and Harry for helping make this happen.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out. We'll get Harry in here next time. We'll have some banter.
Well, dude, you should come watch the Supercrosses or something.
Oh, gosh, that'd be pretty funny.
We should do a flight companion.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
If you're in,
I'm in.
I'm down.
I'm in for sure.
Perfect. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, everyone. Yo, sick.
Well done. Thanks so much, brother.